Peace and love, family. Welcome to Kwanzaa 2020. Habari gani? What's the news, family? What's happening? Kwanzaa is happening today. It's a celebration of African people all around the world and the accomplishments we have made this year. This cultural holiday was created in 1966 by a young scholar who is now known as Dr. Karenga. In the request of children during the healing from 1965 uprising in Watts, California. It grew from the civil rights and Black Power movement, a time of unrest and demonstration against racial injustice, very much like we experience today. The first celebration occurred conveniently during the school break, beginning after Christmas, which is both a religious and European cultural holiday. Kwanzaa is a cultural event only and based on 7 principles familiar to people of African descent: unity, self-determination, collective work, responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, faith, and nia. Key Swahili words were given to these values to connect the 300 million African people around the world. Since the beginning, it has been celebrated every year, December 26th through January 1st. How do we celebrate? The way we usually do, by gathering or fellowshipping, thanking the Creator for our opportunity to do so, remembering those who were so important to us, but those that are also no longer here, recommitting to strengthening our cultural ideas, and always celebrating the good. This year is even more important to celebrate the 7 principles as we continue to challenge injustice and bring truth and goodness to this country and around the world. Peace, love, and prosperity, family.
Habari gani, or what is the news? Today's news is Ujamaa, the principle meaning cooperative economics. We always do better when we work together and we support each other's businesses. So, on this day, we want to look at our symbols again. Our table has been set since the very first day, and we're looking at our wonderful tablecloth with our bandera on it. The bandera comes from Marcus Garvey and represents the people. The red for struggle, black for the people, green for the future. And you see that represented in the tablecloth, our heirloom made by the artist Francis Hare. Next, we have our foundation, which is actually the first symbol, the mkeka, or the woven mat. It's the first thing that is put down in a home in Eastern Africa when people move in. So that represents the foundation because it is woven tightly, and on everything else, on a very strong foundation, you can place everything else. Next, we have the mkeka. We have the Nguzo Saba, which is the 7 candles, okay? And these also have the colors of the black, the red, and the green. So the people, the struggle, and the future. And they rest in the kinara, okay? Which is represents our ancestors on this foundation, and then the lights that go with it. Then we have the kikombe cha umoja, which is the unity cup, and that is what is shared in a family with a drink. Then we have the mazao, or the crops, which represent the fruits of our labor. So even though we may not be farmers, whatever it is that we've been working on all year, we certainly want to celebrate all the rewards that have come from our hard work. And then we have the corn, or muhindi, which represents the children. So each household will have at least 1 ear of corn, even if there are no children there, because we are always responsible for the children. But in other households, you will have an ear of corn to represent each child. So if you have, in this case, we're representing 2 children. If you have 3 or 4, you can even do smaller ears to represent grandchildren if you so please. You can be very creative with it. And then we have the zawadi, or the gifts. The gifts are something from the heart. It is a time to reward particularly the children for the good deeds that they have done throughout the year. So they can be wrapped gifts, but what you want to do is to make sure that there is always a heritage symbol, something that will remind them of how wonderful they are and what a strong foundation and what a strong people they come from. Okay, now, next, Ms. Dolores will do our libation.
Thank you. Dolores Jackson Radney, and I will be doing our Tamshi La Tambito. Our fathers and mothers came here, lived, loved, and struggled here. At this place, their love and labor rose like the sun and gave strength and meaning to the day. For them then who gave so much, we give in return. On this same soil, we will sow our seeds and build and move in unity and strength. Here too, we will continue the struggle for liberation and the higher level of human life. May our eyes be the eagle, our strength the elephant, and the boldness of our lives be like the lion. For as long as the sun shines and the waters flow, may we remember and honor our ancestors and the legacy they left for us as long as the sun shines and the waters flow. For our people everywhere then, for our African ancestors who defended our homeland in Zinga, Samori, Ya Asantwa, Campbell, we pour libation.
Ashe.
For those on this soil, on this side of the world, who fought for liberation of their people, for Frederick Douglass, for Anna Murray Douglass, for Sojourner Truth, for Fannie Lou Hamer, let's move to the 20th century, for Martin and for Malcolm, we pour libation.
Ashe.
And now, it is your turn to raise the names of your ancestors. Those who loved and cared for you. Not the famous names that I just named, but your grandma, your favorite uncle, my brother, Robert Jackson. Say their names right now. Wherever you are, say the names of your ancestors who loved and cared for you. Stephen Perry, Aviva Mary,
Bernice, Florence Bray, Helen Humphrey, Barney Humphrey.
And for our children everywhere. So that they can live full and freer lives because we struggle. We pour libation.
Ashe.
For Kawaida, for the Nguzo Saba, the new system of views and values which give us identity and purpose and directions to our lives. And for the continued struggle through which we will inevitably rescue, recover, and reconstruct our history and humanity in our own image. We pour libation.
Ashe. Ashe.
It is
Ashe.
finished. So, it's time, Terry, to light the candles for Ujamaa.
You're gonna trust me with a lighter.
Okay.
It's good. Oh, you want? You want me to do it?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Oh, you want?
Umoja.
unity,
Kujichagulia,
self-determination,
Ujamaa,
collective work and responsibility,
Ujamaa.
cooperative economics.
Let the celebration of Ujamaa begin.
Habari gani, everyone. What's the news? What's happening? Today we will be celebrating the 4th day of Kwanzaa, Ujamaa. We are told that it's time for us to build our own businesses, control the economics of our own community, and to share in all its work and wealth. Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Time was, there was a young girl whose parents and grandparents had passed away when a virus struck the tiny village. And though she was grief-stricken, she knew in her heart that the Creator would work things out. But she needed to get to her kinfolk in the neighboring village. As she started on her journey, she saw a shiny, heart-shaped stone. She picked it up and put it in her pocket. This must be a sign, she thought. She continued on her journey, and it was farther than she remembered. When she got there, she was very tired and very, very hungry. Surely someone will give me something to eat. But as she looked around, she noticed that this was not the same thriving, productive village that she remembered. You see, the virus had been there too. And her people had not been able to work the land. So no one had anything extra to share with her. But though this girl was only about 12 years old, she remembered something that she witnessed right before her family members made their transition. And she knew in her heart that the Creator would work things out. So she asked them to bring her the biggest pot in the village, and they did. Then she asked them to pour water into the pot, and she set the pot on fire, and as the water began to boil, she took out that heart-shaped stone, and dramatically, she dropped that stone right into the pot. She knew in her heart that the Creator would work things out. In a few minutes, she began to stir the pot, and she began to sniff the air. Oh, it smells so good. Can't you smell it? Come closer. The people gathered, and they began to come closer, and not wanting to seem as if they couldn't smell that aroma, they smiled as if they could. The young girl announced, "I am going to be making you my grandma's famous stone heart stew. Stone heart stew for me and you. Stone heart stew for me and you." This stone heart stew would smell even better if I had an onion. Just one, and a little boy brought her an onion. I know in my heart this stone heart stew would smell even better if we had some yams. And a little girl brought her a couple of yams. I know in my heart this stone heart stew would taste even better if we had some goobers, you know, those nuts, and some teens brought her some nuts. Oh, I know in my heart this stone heart stew would taste even better if we had just a little bit of okra. And elders of the village brought her some pies of oak. Oh, I know in my heart that this stone heart stew would taste even better if we had some rice. And the village mothers came and brought hand and hand and handfuls of rice. This is going to be the best stone heart stew you've ever tasted. Stone heart stew for me and you. Stone heart stew for me and you. And it was amazing. And the smell traveled throughout the countryside. Neighboring villagers came and they began to trade and swap for the stew. And in just a few short weeks, her family's village was the same thriving, productive village she remembered it to be. Everyone thanked the young girl for sharing her stew and a lesson too. And each one passed on that lesson. Sharing makes us all richer. Not only did they learn that lesson and pass it on that day, it was passed on to those enslaved on plantations who learned to work together to make the burden lighter. Some even to buy freedom. That lesson was passed on to our ancestors who started societies, mutual aid societies and schools and churches like Zion, AME Zion, where Frederick Douglass and Anna Murray Douglass attended, right here in Rochester, New York. That lesson was passed on to millionaire Madam C.J. Walker as she built her empire. And she taught other women to become bosses in their own right at a time when women had very few rights. That lesson was passed on to Sister Fannie Lou Hamer, who was jailed, beaten, and denied her civil rights. And after being sick and tired of being sick and tired, she started livestock and agricultural co-ops during the civil rights era. That lesson was passed on to generation after generation. It was passed on to the sharecropping women in Alberta, Alabama, who started a freedom quilting cooperative just to make ends meet after they were fired from their jobs for trying to vote. Those women pulled their money together and bought 23 acres of land. That lesson was passed on to our grandparents and our parents who shared their homes with big mamas and aunts and uncles and cousins until they could stand on their own. Now it's time for us to pass on the lesson. Sharing makes us all richer. Ujamaa, we are to build our own businesses. We are to control the economics of our own communities, and we are to share in all its work and wealth. Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Pass the lesson on. Asante Sana. Thank you very much.
Welcome to Kwanzaa, y'all.
Gani.
Ujamaa, girl, Ujamaa. Before we begin, I would love to request permission to speak from the elders.
Permission granted.
Thank you, Elder Campbell. My name is Anissa Willis, and I'm here with my partner, Craig Carson, who is going to help me host today's virtual celebration, and we're so happy to be here with you. So first, I'd like to give an explanation of the principle of Ujamaa, cooperative economics. The storyteller did a really nice job helping us to understand it, but I would just like to elaborate on that, if I might. Ujamaa, to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit from them together. Ujamaa is to commit ourselves to building and maintaining social wealth, being self-reliant, and always showing generosity to others. The word Ujamaa literally means familyhood and implies that we must work together toward economic success as a family and a larger community. President Julius Nyerere of Tanzania describes Ujamaa as a human-centered practice which focuses on the well-being, happiness, and development of individuals and families through social wealth. Ujamaa rejects the idea of wealth just for being wealthy. Instead, it promotes the notion of wealth as a means to secure well-being for all. Through Ujamaa, we may become self-reliant as a community. We must build, strengthen, and control the economics of our community. According to Dr. Karenga, we must harness our resources and put them to their best possible use in service of the community. Every family, neighborhood, community organization must then work cooperatively to take responsibility for and therefore reap the benefit of shared work and wealth. Finally, Ujamaa encourages generosity to the poor and vulnerable groups in our community. In the book of Anai, we are taught that generosity is its own reciprocal reward. Small gifts return greater, and what is replaced bring abundance. Also in the book of Tahotep, we're taught, be generous as long as you live. What goes into the storehouse should come out, for bread is made to be shared. Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you, Anissa. That was a beautiful, beautiful addition and addendum to the sister that came before you. So with a sense of interconnectedness, I'll just try to pick up where you left off at. When we're talking about Ujamaa, I think it's important to kind of start where Anissa provided a concept of extended family from, Julius Nyerere. Extended family is very important, and as far as I'm concerned, for us to really understand how it applies in the contemporary sense for Black folks in America. If we look at the businesses in our community as our family, people that we want to kind of stand up for and embrace, and give a second or third chance, or when the food's coming a little late at whatever restaurant, we say, hey, brother, your food is good, sister, your food is good, but you know what? I want to see you stay around for that 7-year mark. And so therefore, I just want to say something about whatever in the business. Or you see, you have a business, let's say, and you want to put people on. I believe in one of the Hidden Color series. I'm sorry, I can't quote it precisely, but one of the things that was said was profound outside of how many hours the dollar circulates in the community. We know that detail. But one of the things that was said in the documentary was that if we employed, as Black-owned businesses, intentionally made it our business to employ, even youth as interns, or just putting on whomever with our businesses, we could potentially kill unemployment in the Black community overnight. That was absolutely said, and I believe that's absolutely true. So these different examples, I think, play a part in the way we can improve the Black economy or utilize cooperative economics. And then separately, what we've been doing for the past few years in Rochester, I think very well. And big up to people like Monique Chapman, who have been doing pop-up business marketplace events and utilizing a space in our community where everyone can sell their own goods, their wares, their incense, the cocoa butters, and all of the things that we enjoy. So we get our culture. The vendors can sell it at a good price. Everyone can have a good time, and we can all prosper together, consistent with the language and the spirit of Ujamaa. We don't need to have super high prices and have vendors selling things way out. We can all work together in a similar community space as an extended family to advance cooperative economics and the Black economy. So I think we need to think about all of these examples and do our best to implement those because we are family. If we treat our businesses just like anyone, if you treat them like Verizon, we're quick to cut them off and we're quick to just talk bad about businesses in our community. You don't really talk bad about family. That's not what you do with Big Mama. That's not what you do with your bro. It's not what you do with first or second cousin. You show them love, maybe some tough love, but you would stick with them. And so I think that is the mentality that suits and behooves and benefits Black folks because our circumstances simply are not like anybody else. And so with that being said, I think Anissa, Julius, Nyerere, an extended family concept is very prudent. So for today, under, our theme of Ujamaa, we have some Black-owned businesses that are ready to show you some greatness. And these are things for sale. And then we have some great young Black professionals that are ready to provide, some intel as to what they do and their beliefs about cooperative economics. And then at the end, we'll have a little bit of fun because, Kwanzaa is definitely still for the kids, and we want to try to do our best to put the kids first, still about family, and we want to have some fun. So Ujamaa Jeopardy will be last before we conclude with the farewell closing part. So I'd like to go into our first business. Who is that? Is my cousin, Erica Darasaw. Please stand up from Shades Up. Sister, what you got for us?
Hey there, Craig. Thank you. Thank you to the Rochester Kwanzaa Coalition for this opportunity to highlight some of our goods from Shades Up. I am Erica, and my daughter, who can't be seen right now, is not feeling well. We both comprise Shades Up. And what we do is we offer the community gifts that are spiritual, that are also curated by the art of African American artists. The artist that we are going to highlight today is Miss Sylvia G. Baby Cohen. And first, we're going to start by showing you a couple of our sets. These first sets that I'm going to show you, the first two that I'll show you, will be our $60 sets today. I put these together for this presentation at a discount rate. The last two sets will be $50. So without further ado, let me show you a few of our things. We're going to start with I Am Powerful. I Am Powerful. This is some people call it a makeup case. It can be called a pouch, whatever. It's great for the ladies. You can put a lot in here. And it's made of dark brown material, so it's easily washed or wiped off. So this set, we'll start with this. Secondly, we have a woman's dream for her purse or her pocket is to have a notebook and pen. For the purposes of safety and because we're dealing with the wonderful coronavirus, I won't open any of these, but it comes with a notebook and also a pen. So that's our little pocket person. This is, to go with this set, we have a mirror. This is a hand mirror, has two different sides, but everything has the beautiful I Am Powerful woman. And she is actually an ode to the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. However, it's not limited to you if you are not in that sorority. Next, we have our messenger bags. They're not your usual.
The things that I have to present, that this is being recorded and you guys can take a look at it at your leisure. But I do look to Marcus Garvey for a lot of his strength in terms of where we need to head collectively and the importance of working cooperatively. Again, I'm not going to read through all of this, but the cooperative economics is not a new idea. It actually exists and existed in West Africa and the Caribbean years ago, generations ago, if you will. It was called Susu economics. Susu economics was certainly looks a little bit different than what we're looking to bring to the local community, but it does engender the spirit and direction that we intend to head. And when I say we, I'm talking a lot of our local leaders and groups. Every year we continue to grow and develop and essentially outline what cooperative economics looks like for us. And so I'm going to continue on in that spirit by sharing a bit more insight. While there's quite a bit more information that can be shared, we don't necessarily have the time to go into deep dives on this. So I'll consider this the 101 level. So starting with cash flow, the cash flow quadrant. It's a concept that another writer invented, but I'm going to start with that just to level set. And the concept here is that everyone starts as an employee, self-employed, business owner, or investor. The key to success in a capitalistic society, as we are in, is to make it down to this bottom right-hand quadrant, the investor quadrant, to where you're making money and you're reaching a level of success without necessarily having to work incredibly hard for it. Although you do work hard for it in a number of other ways, quadrants and such. But using the model here, conceptually, you would start as an employee, become self-employed, start your own business, and then become an investor. There are certainly opportunities for employees to become investors, business owners to become investors, or self-employed to become investors right out of the gate. But I'll say the standard practice is to go from employee to self-employed to business owner to investor. Using that same structure, the concept here is that we have business owners or sole proprietors who begin their journey in providing a service or a product to a particular community or market. As they grow, they end up bringing on board mentors and board members to help guide and provide resource and suggestive solutions to grow the business. Beyond that, the business or the entity then joins a business cooperative, which is essentially what we're talking about here in terms of cooperative economics. As a result, it increases cash flow, but more importantly, in this bottom right-hand corner is where you recognize success, whatever success is as you define it. If your success is based on cash flow, then so be it. If it's outreach or supporting businesses, individuals, in terms of cooperative, whatever your success measure is, that's where you'll find it. And in particular, when it comes to businesses, we're talking about business co-ops. That is the ultimate goal, increasing cash flow. So I'm going to present here. I know I'm going to run through this really quickly for you guys, but certainly I'm available to discuss this a bit further at a later date. But I'm just going to run through a quick example. In this particular case, we have restaurant A, B, C, and D, and common expenses, if you will, that they incur. This is the standard, business working on its own. These are the types of prices that you'd end up getting. But as you move forward and work cooperatively, the numbers change a bit. You actually save money working cooperatively, whereas accounting, if you have an accounting firm that you reach out to and look for group pricing, you can get discounts because you're operating as a group and not just as an individual. As an individual, you're paying out 100% of whatever the premium is. But if you work as a group, you can negotiate what you end up paying as a group. Taking it a step further here, this is just a simple concept here that I'm sharing. This is certainly not a representation of the full strength of working cooperatively. But here in this simple example, you have cost savings per month of $150 for every entity, and with an ultimate $1,800 per year. Now, imagine if you were able to apply that concept to all expenses that recur within different organizations. And that's where I highlight here. You have insurance that all businesses should be incurring as an expense. You have marketing, technology, so on and so forth, that we all tend to incur these expenses independently. But if we work collectively, we would be able to, again, negotiate. As individuals, we fail, but as a collective, we can succeed. We have greater power. And that's what brings me to the next point of GPOs. It's a concept whereas you purchase as a group of businesses or owners. If you're operating collectively in this kind of a way, you have much more leverage to get what you want. And that's just one example of the successes of working together. But to take even that concept a step further, we have other opportunities where you can work collectively. So locally resourcing, and I'm going to get a little more granular in just a moment, but locally resourcing, in the sense that you're operating with businesses that are essentially your neighbors. They're part of the same community that you live in. And there's a greater benefit in working with someone who's close to you versus someone who works, that operates much further. While there's a lot more digging into that topic that we can do. I'm just going to move on for the sake of time. There's also subletting business space. In the sense of subletting business space, I'll give you an example. If a cafe, a coffee shop or a cafe operates during the day, that's the peak of their business, and then they generally end by noon or 2 o'clock or whatever it is. Instead of just shutting down for the day, they could really benefit by working with another organization, maybe a restaurant or something of that nature, by offering, say, drive-through service. If the cafe is already set up for drive-through service and a restaurant is not set up for that, they can actually work together in terms of providing a space in which the restaurant can provide that drive-through service. It's a benefit to the cafe because they're now subletting. They get income from the secondary business that's operating out of that space. But the restaurant also benefits by virtue of opening up their business to drive-through service, which certainly becomes a great opportunity within the local community as we work our way through this whole pandemic. Then we also have group asset purchasing, group resource purchasing. The concept there is that, and I'll give you another example. If you have a barbershop and you also have a hair salon, conceptually, two separate businesses, they operate in close enough space to work together collaboratively. If they purchased collectively, they purchased a building and essentially rented out the additional spaces. It turns into a benefit just by virtue of the type of market. You essentially corral the market. You have a group of people as they provide, as they patron some of these organizations, business, the barbershop, they're in the space to check out what's happening next door. But particularly if it's in the same building, another unit within the building, maybe a hair salon, a hair store, a hair supply store. So you can get the supplies directly adjacent to the business that you're either patroning or you're operating. So there's great opportunity in that space, but we kind of have to start having those discussions at a ground level. And then lastly, we have the market corral servicing. And this is that being a term that I created to try to make sense for everybody. The concept of developing one's own market. If you develop your own market, you can provide service to it. And that's really the segue into the reintroduction to Bob Rochester. Bob Rochester being the Black-owned business directory. Within Bob Rochester, it's essentially a listing of all Black-owned businesses locally. The list is now roughly 700 businesses strong. The list continues to grow and expand, not only locally but nationally. We're looking to expand that, begin the expansion within 2021. But the thought here is that there's more than enough opportunity for us to work collaboratively. We can continue to work in silos, but we can only go but so far. And if we go alone, by the time we reach that success measure, that success level that we've been aiming for, we'll look around and see that we're the only ones still standing. And that is one of the greatest disservices that I suggest we continue to focus on in terms of avoidance. We want to make sure that we succeed collectively and not just for our own benefit. We can go much further collectively than we can separately. And so with that, I yield the rest of my time. If there's any questions, certainly feel free to reach out. Again, my name is Matthew Bain, and my contact information is at the bottom of the screen. And again, thank you, Craig, and thank you also to the Rochester Kwanzaa Coalition.
Word is bond, son. I appreciate you for coming on. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, and I appreciate your highly detailed and highly professional presentations. And you gotta give me a sip of that juice, brother. You holding out. I saw that. I want some of that.
I got you.
And just playing, of course. See, certain things can't be accomplished virtually. But moving on. So we're kind of doing the weave between the businesses and the presentational content here on Ujamaa Day. So now we have a business coming up, because we're going to kind of go speaker, business, etc., until we hit our panel, which is just down the road. So our next business is Elder Mike Campbell. Elder Mike Campbell, are you ready for us, sir? I'll give you a little intro. I just want to make sure you're ready, brother.
Habar ready.
All right. So Elder Mike Campbell is CEO and president of North Star Rites of Passage, LLC. And they specialize, they're ultimately educational consulting business firm. So with no further ado, I introduce to you all Elder Mike Campbell. Take it away.
Thank you. Habar Ujamaa. I'm glad to be here. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike Campbell. I'm the co-owner with my wife of North Star Rites of Passage, LLC. My wife, Jackie Campbell. We're an educational consulting firm based here in Rochester, New York, focused on cultural competency. We provide African-centered rites of passage for youth and culturally responsive facilitator training for adults working with youth of color. And before we get started talking about the merchandise that we offer, I do want to show a short clip of a crossover celebration ceremony for sixth graders that we held back in 2017. at Nathaniel Rochester Community School. So hold on one second and I'm gonna show you this nice video. They use a ritual and ceremony to guide a person's development through life's transitions. A rite is a fundamental act or a set of rituals according to prescribed social customs and routines. Everything that we've done with these young men and women during the course of the years has a purpose. And we've got a lot of ritual and a lot of routine. Rites of passage programs are cultural specific, not universal. It's based on the multicultural premise that a group must recognize and affirm its own cultural identity before it can respect the culture and identity of others. Rites of passage program mode. 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 A personal diligence, gratitude, gratitude and love. I take this open loyalty through dedication, discipline, sacrifice, and achievement. To do all that I can in the way that I can. To develop myself and my people. I accept my role given by my ancestors. I promise I not only help my people, but to teach them to help themselves. Thank you for bearing with me. Again, that was a 6th grade crossover ceremony at Nathaniel Rochester Community School. Now I'd like to show you some of the merchandise that we offer through North Star Rites of Passage. I'm going to start out with these beautiful bracelets that are made from beads from West Africa. And some of the beads are made from a lot of different kinds of materials. Some are made from bone, some are made from crushed glass, some are made from wood, and they're very decorative. And these bracelets are very inexpensive. These are $8.99 each or 2 for $15. And as you can see, we have a lot of different sizes and a lot of different colors. I personally like the larger beads, and most men do like the larger, heavier beads. And you can wear 1, 2, 3, 4 or more, or as many as a lot of people like to wear a sleeve of them and make it look really decorative and colorful. These rings with Adinkra symbols and some with different kind of designs on them. Like this one has an ankh on it. This one is Gi and Sankofa. This is Gi and Yame. Gi and Yame. And these are $19.99. These beautiful, colorful masks are African print material with large ear loops on them, so they're comfortable on your face and fit your head nicely. And they come in 3 sizes, large, medium, and small. These are children's masks And as you can see, some of them have the popular designs, like for instance, the Avengers, and these children's masks are adjustable, and these are $7.99. These are necklaces, beaded necklaces, and these beads are made from different materials as well. These are crushed glass, and these could be worn as they are, or you could have it made into a nice necklace like these with a nice pendant on it of your choice. We have a lot of different selections in the pendants. These beads are clay beads made from clay, and these are very, very decorative, and they come in a couple different colors. This is a brown one I'm holding here. I have a black one on my neck as well. I'd like to have Jasmine come on the camera and show you the ladies' head wrap and matching masks.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Jasmine Campbell. I'm Mike Campbell's daughter. If you could just scoot it up just a little bit. Thank you.
What up, Jasmine?
Hey, how's everyone? So I'm here to show, first of all, my North Star Rites of Passage shirt with the North Star Rites of Passage logo, and it also has the Nguzo Saba on the back of this shirt. So all 7 principles of Kwanzaa are on the back. This shirt is $19 and some change. But I'm here to talk about this lovely, lovely wrap with the matching face mask. So you get the wrap and you can wrap your hair up, and then you have the face mask. And then also this wrap is cut. Now I'm gonna have to show my hair under here, but this wrap is cut specifically for head wrapping, right? It's not just a regular piece of fabric, right? So it includes it's like that one foot of fabric times that like 5 feet of fabric. So women, if you wrap your hair, you know what I'm talking about. There's a certain cut that you need. So it's already pre-cut. And this set comes together, and it's also $19 and some change, okay? So I also want to talk about these fans. I love these fans. First of all, they come with a leather band and snap, so you can close them up and put them inside your pocketbook when you're done with them. But when you're using them, they fold out like so, and they have a little leather strap on the bottom. So this can either be for a fan or it could be part of your outfit. It just all depends on how you feel. So, and these are Ankara fabric. You'll notice that the face masks are made out of Ankara West African fabric as well. So I will go ahead and transition back to Elder Mike.
So before we go, I just want to mention that we do have 2 styles of masks. We have these lighter print masks, and these are the square shapes that cover the face like this. Also with nice long elastic on them, so they're comfortable on the ears as well. And that pretty much does it for North Star Rites of Passage. Thank you, and remember to spend your money in our community. Keep our dollars circulating where we live at to benefit our community. Ashe.
Mm-hmm. Ashe. That was excellent. Family participation, some emoji going on right there. A little Ujamaa. Yes, with an A, not an E in the yes.
Yes.
Had to, got to. Yes. So, quick, pause real quick. Big up to all the Black-owned businesses in the city doing their thing. I mean, not just the ones that are part of today's presentation, but everybody out there grinding. You know what I'm saying? We got a wealth of businesses over there on the Southwest. You know, my neighborhood, 19th Ward, 3 Kings, Jamaican Soul on Genesee Street, Be Healthy, Bobo's Kitchen on Joseph. We got business. Rochester, one of the strengths of Rochester, because we sometimes get a little negative about Rochester does have a good amount of Black-owned businesses. Trust me when I say that, because Syracuse and Buffalo, I don't know if this is apparent, but we should just celebrate the fact that we do have a good amount, so big up to those businesses out there putting in that work. And Morgan Cereal Bar, like that's a really cool spot. Go support Morgan Cereal Bar. Real dope establishment, very nice looking like ATL in there. All right, so we're gonna move on our presentation because again, we have 2 more speakers, a panel, and then after that, what you need, Ujamaa Jeopardy. I know what y'all need. So we're gonna move on to our next speaker, who is one of my favorites locally, Big up to Annette Campbell. So Annette Campbell is our next speaker. Let me get her bio real quick. Annette Campbell is the CEO and founder of the Tax Experience. She's a tax expert, financial advisor, and motivational speaker. So I'd like it'd be my pleasure to introduce the great Annette Campbell. Annette, where you at, girl?
You're gonna need to unmute.
I'm unmuted now, I think. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I'm so excited to be a part of this special day, as I am, in finances, and that is a big part of cooperative economics. So I'm going to have a short video play, and then I'm going to speak more about what I do and what Ujamaa means to me. I'm really passionate about financial literacy and helping my community and helping fellow business owners understand that taxes is not a scary thing. It is something that needs to be done to help further develop your business and to build wealth. My name is Annette Campbell. I am the CEO and founder of the Tax Experience. I have my own struggles. That's what really made me get into finances. I'm considered a statistic. Growing up in foster care, I started off doing taxes for my family and friends, and my friends was like, Annette, you probably should really do this. I've worked in big industries, and it's kind of like a in and out type of feel. I didn't want to curate that. I wanted my clients to feel an experience, to know that I am here for the long haul to help them develop. This year, tax season 2021 will be a major special moment. This is me literally walking in faith. 3 years ago, I had lost everything, and I wasn't in the proper place. I didn't have my finances in order. I didn't have good credit. I was determined to continue to push on with my entrepreneurship journey to really help people financially. I'm not that person that's gonna judge you about your finances, because we all have made mistakes and bad decisions and habits, but it's important to understand that there is still hope, that there is a way out. You don't have to struggle forever. You can go after the life of your dreams, and it just starts with your financial foundation. So if I can be a part of that process, that's what I'm here for, and that's what made me super passionate about what I've done. I just want people to remember that your business dreams matter, and I'm here to help you along the journey to that success for yourself. Well, my business phone number is 585-290-9926. You can also find me on Facebook, The Tax Experience, and you can also find me on my website, thetaxexperience.com. My goal with The Tax Experience is to definitely build millionaires and billionaires, and I know that I can do it. I just know I can change the world. So thank you guys for watching that video. It means a lot to me, because it kind of really talks about my journey with why I'm super passionate about what I do. And big thank you so much. Rashad actually curated that video, Renaissance New York. So if you guys need video content, definitely talk to him. But I really wanted, as you guys can see in that video, this is why Ujamaa, I think that is one of the major parts of why Ujamaa is so important, and the importance of cooperative economics. And that starts with the financial foundations. And a lot of us, in order to continue to be able to push that dollar back into our communities, we have to make sure that we are building strong foundations with our businesses and making sure that we are doing the right things financially. And taxes is definitely one of those things that is a lot of people are scared of taxes. And like I talk about in my video, like it's not a scary thing. And I'm really here as that person to really help people understand the importance of it and how it actually can benefit you in your business as you continue to grow, to continue to help us and continue to build wealth, to continue to be able to, you know, help each other build as we continue to go along. So I think it's important to make sure that we are doing the necessary steps as far as like business owners, making sure that you are set up legally as an entity, making sure that you are properly recording your income and expenses so that you can actually file taxes, because taxes hold a lot of people back, because without those tax documents, you can't buy homes. And, you know, a whole, for example, like all this funding that is, you know, due to this year, you know, there was a lot of funding that the government was giving out, and a lot of people didn't have their proper documents and they weren't doing the right things that they were supposed to do financially. So it kind of, you know, they missed out on that opportunity to get the funding to, you know, make sure that to be able to help you expand your business and get the help that you really need. So I think that this is going to be an important piece. And this is why I have started this in our community. And I'm so excited to see it take off, because this is what we really need in our community. Having someone that's really going to care about pushing you forward, your business forward. And I also help with personal finances as well. So in order for us to continue to circulate, you know, our money, and like Matt had talked about, you know, going through that quadrant, you know, we all start off as employees, but we don't have to end there, you know, becoming, you know, self-employed, becoming a business owner, and to be able to invest to continue to help you build wealth is going to be one of those major things. And we have to understand that we have to do those things if we want to excel in life, if we want to not be in that, you know, paycheck to paycheck struggle cycle. These are the things that we have to commit to and that we have to do. And we have to reach out to people like me, Matt, and those figures that's in your community that's going to be willing to help you get to those necessary steps that you deserve to get to. So I also do bookkeeping. So I help manage business owners' books to make sure that, you know, sometimes business owners, they don't want to, you know, keep track of their income and expenses. And that's okay. You know, I'm able to provide that service. And you know, just really helping people in that financial advisory role and helping you understand your taxes. So once we understand how important our finances is and that cannot be neglected, then we will be able to soar the way that we can and flourish and, you know, build great things in our Rochester community. And that is what my mission and my goal is to do. But we have to, you know, look ourselves in the mirror and dedicate ourselves to that financial process and just reach out for help. I am here to help you guys. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Thank you guys again, Craig and Anissa, for putting this, for the Rochester Kwanzaa Coalition, putting this together to bring us together to deliver this information to everyone.
Thank you so much, Annette. You definitely are providing a vital service to our community and to business owners who don't necessarily have the knowledge or the skills of what they need to make sure that their business is successful. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Next up, we have another business owner that is going to showcase some wonderful products that they have. Miss Lisa Goff of UC Sana, which is Swahili for Black art, by the way. UC Sana fills an important missing piece in the Rochester's art market. UC Sana sells artwork at the public market and other local venues, bringing beautiful pieces to us that we otherwise couldn't find. And their mission is to be recognized for the contributions of African Americans and Afro-Caribbeans through positive images that uplift and inspire. So here's Lisa Goff.
Hello. Good afternoon, beautiful people.
Good afternoon.
Habari Gani.
Thank you, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. I am so excited to be here. This is actually my first virtual ever marketplace. So I'm learning, and I appreciate all the assistance, Mr. Craig, and the beautiful woman who gave the introduction. My name is Lisa Goff, and I am excited to be here to share information about my business, UC Sana, which is Swahili for Black art. And I'll just give you a brief overview about how I came about to start my business. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. One of my favorite subjects has always been history, especially after my fourth grade teacher taught me about several African nations. I met my husband, Eric, while we were both serving in the Army. Which reflects courage, pride, and honor. These experiences are great contributions, and they offer a significant history to our country. Because of my passion for history and the desire to celebrate the African diaspora, I decided to partner with my husband, Eric, and launch UC Sana, which features artwork from various artists, and it reflects our very diverse, beautiful cultures. I utilize local resources provided by SCORE of Greater Rochester. I took advantage and participated in several business webinars and meetings, and I even met with one of the SCORE mentors before launching our business. I had an opportunity to come across another resource in partnership with the City of Rochester. Kiva Loan, which is a crowdsourcing loan, provided the resources for myself and Eric a loan of $3,000 in which we were able to purchase our inventory and supplies and launch our artwork business. I am proud to say and very, very pleased to say I paid off the loan of $3,000 in October this year. The artwork that I sell is unframed, beautiful, affordable artwork. And I did have a brief presentation to share just a couple of pieces, but also I do want to provide my contact information. I do have an Instagram page, and you can find me under UC Sana. That's UC spelled E-U-S-I, Sana spelled S-A-N-A-A. So like I said, this wonderful Kiva loan, we purchased a few artwork, and I do have a limited on-hand inventory in which you can take a look on my Instagram page, but you can also contact me at my email address, which is ucsana@gmail.com. And in celebration of the 2020 Ujamaa virtual Kwanzaa celebration, if a order is placed before or by December 31st,
I will not be charging any shipping costs. We'll just be paying for the price of the print and taxes. So in this presentation that is shown on the screen, there's just a couple of pieces that I have put together since we have a limited amount of time, but I am so grateful. Oh, my Instagram page. Thank you, thank you. I wasn't sure if this was going to be shown. So on the screen now, it is my Instagram page, and I have some prints in stock. I go to different, when we're not having the coronavirus pandemic, I would go to various venues in the city of Rochester and do pop-up markets. And so that allowed me to have a home-based business as a new entrepreneur, but then also gave me the opportunity to get out into the community and share these beautiful prints. And so again, if anyone is interested in the prints, please reach out to me, ucsana@gmail.com, or you can go directly to my Instagram page and make a comment and provide your contact information. I can follow up with you and make sure that we get the prints to you. I can provide the cost and the size of the various artwork prints. I am so grateful and appreciative for participating this afternoon, and I'm going to turn it back over to Craig. And thank you. God bless you all. And happy Kwanzaa.
Thank you, thank you. That was excellent, Lisa. Look at this piece right here. I'm gonna go through the ones that I didn't have a chance to get through. Right here, this is a great piece, an in action moment for this brother dunking the ball. This is a very exciting, nice looking, interesting looking piece for those sports lovers out there. And look, I got another one too. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Let's see. Boom. Got that right there for you. Generations of Women art prints. You can see Maya Angelou up in there, and some other great sisters in this picture. 11 by 14 print. Hit up Lisa Goff. And if you didn't get the information, for her business, again, this is her card, because of course I have one of her cards. So I know that's her card there at the top left. Is in the information. Obviously, you can kind of see it there, but that's also her Instagram page where she has more of these great prints. Treat yourself to some of this good stuff. So thank you, Lisa, and let's do the kind of quasi-typical cliche kind of thing. Anissa, who do we have up next? I don't know who that is. Who is the next person in our Ujamaa presentation, sister?
It's your favorite hairstylist, don't you know?
Who is that?
Well, she's my favorite too. You gotta know who I'm talking about.
Oh, that's right. She just did some straight back cornrows from me yesterday. You got to be talking about Ashley Sneed.
The one and only.
All right, all right. Ashley, take that mic off mute and tell those people what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Am I unmuted? Can y'all hear me?
We can hear and see you, my beautiful sister.
You're good, Queen. You're good.
All right. I hope this light is not too bright, y'all, because I had tripped over it or whatever. Sorry. Sugar, see? I'm clumsy. See that? Let's get it together here. Guys.
That red look is fire, though. That red look is fire right there. I like that.
Isn't it?
No, it's fire.
Okay, so here we go. I'm back. All right. Peace, y'all. I am your favorite stylist, educator, and motivator. Of course, my light will fall after I've had it sitting up here all this time for the whole time. And then, you know, I'm clumsy. So there we are. But guys, I do want to talk to you about cooperative economics. I did write down some notes and things that came to my mind as everybody else was speaking. So I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about that. I am a business owner. I do own the Lot Lounge over on Tremont Street, also known as Kingdom Heritage. For most of you that know my business, my first shop is Kingdom Heritage, but that is still my business name. That's like my umbrella, right? So I own the Lot Lounge. I got a shirt on that say "Practice makes dopeness." I don't know if you guys can see it, but that will be coming out soon. I'll have some hoodies, a couple shirts, and a couple, maybe I'll do keychains. We'll see. But I do understand that I need to bring value to the community. So that is something that I am working on currently, right? I am a speaker. For you guys that don't know me, I am a speaker. That is what I do. That is what I love the most. A lot of my clients come to me to talk to me or to hear what I have to say, and I'm excited. So I'm going to go right into what I want to talk about, and then I'll move forward and I'll be right out your way. Okay, guys, for cooperative economics, the goal right now is for us to build Black Wall Street. That's what I think. I think that is the goal that we are all trying to strive for and reach for, but not only just build it where it was, but to build it everywhere, right? We have so many places that have so many different communities, that have so many different African-American communities that we can build up. There are many hoods, as you will, right? The hood. There's so many of those places. So because of that, we can buy back the block, like they say, and turn these communities back around, or like they once were. Like they were full of family. You know, they were full of businesses. They were full of, I like to say, people giving their gift to the world. One thing that I know is that we don't want to die empty. And so the way for us to move forward in rebuilding this Black Wall Street everywhere, right? Depending on where you live, you can start as small as you and a neighbor doing something and watching each other kids or something like that. And, you know, I'll pay you this Friday, I'll pay you next Friday, I'll pay you. And we're just keeping the money within ourselves, right? Start as small as that, or we can make it a big thing where a bunch of us that have, you know, done trades or any type of investments and actually have some capital that can come together and bring our capital together and buy up a whole street and just like move single mothers in or families in or something like that. Do some type of training, buy up these schools, rename them, you know, teach privately ourselves for our children. There's so many things that we can do. So definitely number one is using our gifts if you want to take notes. Number two is not being scared to collab. It's okay that we do things together. It is okay. Like, I'm not really sure where we come and get into this space where everybody is trying to do something on their own and by themselves, but we are better together. That is something that I know for sure. That is something that I've learned over time. That is something that I have witnessed, and that is something that I have experienced. We are better together. Two heads are better than. We hear all of these things, but I don't know if we know how to implement them within our lives and within our communities and within our families. But two heads are better than one. It's just that you got to make sure you got the right head on your shoulders, right? 3, understanding that the collective, understanding what that is, understanding really truly that we really truly win together. Don't get me wrong. I have a salon right now. I am the only person in there right now. However, I worked at Queens and there were 6 or 7 people in there. I've worked at other salons. I worked at barbershops. The last barbershop I left, there was 9 of us in there. So I'm not against working together and building up and, you know, learning from each other. They were very dope spaces that I was in. Now I have been doing this a long time, so I do kind of want it a little quieter. I do kind of want it to be by myself, but I'm not opposed totally to going back in and being and collabing with somebody, right? It's just that I want to move from behind the chair. So there's that. Where do we start So we know that we're trying to rebuild our Black Wall Streets, but we're, and we know the how, using our gifts, not being scared to collaborate with one another, and understanding that we do win together. But where do we start with all of that? Number one, self-examination. You have to go inside. You got to do that good look in the mirror, and you got to decide who you are. Okay? Because let's just be frank and let's be honest. One of the things that I hear a lot is that we have bad customer service sometimes. And, that's not to bring any negativity. It's to shed some light on some things that we have to improve. Because one thing that we understand is if we bring value, every time I ride past Chick-fil-A's line, it's always long. They're always packed. They're always busy. So what is it that they did in their business? What is it that they do in their meetings? How is it that they train their people in order to be in this type of space where their business is always busy like that? And they have such good, reviews. Okay, what is it that we can do to do better? Because we hear these things, but we have to look inside and say, am I the negative person? Do I have that customer service? Did I do my best when I sold that shirt? Did I do my best when I made that pie? Did I really put love into that plate that I fixed, or did I just throw it together? We have to make sure that we are looking within ourselves and trusting ourselves and saying, okay, I did my best. And then if Craig looks in the mirror and he's like, yo, I did my best and I'm going to do my best on this thing. And then Nisa does her best. Like, we are all going to come together. And now I can trust you to work with you because we have realized, I'm making sure that I'm doing my best. And I'm not just like, being the type of person that's being lazy, or being the type of person that's like, I want you to do all the work and I get the reward. So that's where we have to make sure that we are looking inside, finding out where you are now to where you want to be, right? Build relationships. I think that's number 2. Build relationships. Talk to people. Say good morning. Say good evening. Ask questions. It's okay. We do a lot of social media talking, but I find that when we are in public, a lot of people don't really chat. A lot of people some are introverts, some are just not social as they are online. But in order for us to collab, in order for us to get to know each other, in order for us to move forward in these things called community, we have to speak. We have to talk to each other. We have to ask questions. I've been in a barbershop plenty of times where we've had conversations, and businesses were birthed because of the conversation that we had. And we were able to help someone with their idea to hone in and to build their business up the way that they wanted to. So yeah, building relationships is super duper duper important. Go into, I'm a Be Healthy. Y'all already know I am like number 1 for Be Healthy. I'm like the number 1 customer, okay, and fan. I love Be Healthy. I go in there, I speak to them, they speak to me, and it's been like that since the beginning. When I didn't know them at all, I would just sit in there and drink my smoothie. I would just sit in there and eat my wrap. I was sitting there, and then over time, it built into relationships, and it built into like, hey, bro, how you doing, sis? What's up? It built into that. And I called them like the Black Cheers. If y'all remember that TV show, Cheers, they're like the Black Cheers, because anybody that comes in there, whether you're a bum off the street, or I've seen them feed people off the street, and I've seen them feed the richest. For like, it doesn't matter who you are. When you come in there, you are all treated the same. And I love that. So building these relationships, sometimes when you're going to need a favor, they're going to be able to do that for you. And when they need a favor, you should be able to return that. So build these relationships. I'm going to tell you a quick story about DMX. He came here for a concert a couple years ago, and I got to work his table, which was awesome. So I met some of his crew, and they told me a story about how their group got together. I thought it was like absolutely amazing. And so what they were saying is they had already been a group. They were already Rough Riders, right? And so there was an opportunity for one of them to be signed and for them to do what they needed to do. And guess what? They said, the people that wanted to sign them only wanted one person. They didn't want a crew. So they say, you know what? Who in our crew has the best lyrics? Who in our crew is the best lyricist? Who in our crew can we put up front? They put X up front. In return, X hired all of his friends, right? Some of them were in jail. He took care of them because his mindset was, we were a crew before we started it. Because y'all put me up front, and this helped us to go further because we removed egos. Okay, we removed the egos. It's not oh, I rap better than him or none of that. They sat, they thought about it, they figured it out, and look where he is now, and look where they all are, because they were able to be cooperative. They were able to come together, say, what can we do to better us all? And they were able to move forward. So I thought that was a super awesome story. I hope that I have said something to you that you have learned or have an idea, or it at least sparked a right? Because I'm always good at sparking a thought. I want you to spark a thought in your mind about how we can move forward and how we can really do this thing, because I believe that we can do this thing. The last thing I'm going to say is just really believe and know. Forget believing, just know that we really can do it. We can, like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We can do it, but we have to do it with the right people. We have to do it with the right passion. We have to do it with the right heart. We have to do it selflessly and not selfishly, because when we're going into this community thing with what can I get out of it, instead of what is going to benefit us all, then we have the mindset is messed up, right? So just make sure you guys are looking in the mirror, checking out who you are, doing that self-examination, and finding out where you fit in the spectrum of this thing called community, of this thing called life, so that we can move forward. They did it before with less resources. I know that we can do it again. So the goal, guys, is to rebuild Black Wall Street. I do have a product as well. It is a lot mist. I just relaunched it on my birthday. As you can see, I have green hair, so I did the green bottles, which I think is awesome, and I think I may keep them. But it's lavender aloe lot mist, and if you guys want to purchase, you can. They are $12 a bottle, or they are 2 for $20. And I will have these shirts out soon. Again, I am Ashley, your favorite stylist, educator, and motivator. You can text me at 585-490-6435. And you can inbox me and ask me any questions, whatever you need. Peace.
Anissa, you got me?
What you need, bro? You're not going to give me an introduction? I got to introduce myself? That's okay. I got this. First of all, I want to shout out Ashley. Thank you. As always, your words are dope and they go straight to the heart. She's really my stylist. I use her lock spray. Get it. It's an amazing product. It's lightweight. Your hair is going to smell great. Your scalp is going to feel refreshed. If you got locks, go see Ashley. She does an incredible job. And I don't know if y'all noticed, she's got a green wrap on that beautiful green hair that she got from me. So part of cooperative economics is not just, building that wealth together and making sure that we are all chugging straight ahead, but I mean, we support each other. She's got something I need that I want. I've got something that she needs and wants, and we regularly barter. I make her pies. She brings me lock spray. I have some wraps for her. She retwists my hair. So it works out very, very well. Thank you, sis. So I am Anissa Willis, as you know, also known as Miss Niece, and I run Rocket Knits. I also happen to do a lot of other work with retail, including selling True Detergent, which is a product that we all need and should have in our home. One thing about, supporting Black-owned businesses, a lot of people simply just make excuses for not supporting a Black-owned business because it's more convenient to shop at whatever store you're used to. Maybe you say the price is too high for this product or that product, or a lot of times we hear to complain about customer service, right? But again, we're so patient with all those other entities, those big corporations and things like that, that don't have our best interests at heart, but we don't show that patience and love to our own community. We have to do better. Everybody washes their clothes. Everybody washes their clothes. Why would you not use True detergent? It was developed in Atlanta, Georgia by 3 brothers. It is plant-based. There's no harsh chemicals. It smells fantastic. It's considered halal because it doesn't have any animal byproducts in it either. I have a big family. I have a family of 8 at home that I take care of and teach them to wash their own clothes. So you know how kids do. Forget the cat. They're just pouring it in. However, this large bottle, which is 101 loads, costs $18, lasts my family of 8 at least 5 weeks. So think about how long that product is going to last in your home. So that, again, is one of my retail efforts. And then with that, I also have a retail shop, Miss Niece's Boutique, which I just launched online at my website, www.rockandknits.com. In Miss Niece's Boutique, I bring you African print apparel, as well as handmade African jewelry and accessories. So with the African print apparel, we'll start with what my lovely daughter, Ayana, is wearing. I know it's a little difficult to see her. I apologize, but she's got a full-length wrap skirt. It's a mud cloth with a kente print built in, and that skirt is $30, and it fits women's sizes small all the way to 2X because it is a wrap skirt. You can just simply adjust that belt that is built in to make sure that it is fitting you accordingly. I am wearing a ankle length African print skirt as well. I love these because it has a wide elastic waistband. So again, it fits women size small to 2X. It's got a built-in belt, which I like to tie in the front, but it can also be tied around the back. And then the best thing ever, it has deep pockets. Ladies, skirts with pockets, can't beat them. So the maxi skirt is $40 and it comes with a matching headscarf. Here's another option. This one's brown and blue, again, same price. And for this one, I also made matching mask because we are in, COVID. And if you get the chance to go out, you need to be responsible, right? Responsible for your health and for the health and safety of others. So this mask is of the same print and also has a pouch here where you can put a filter, a disposable filter right inside. So moving on from there, as I mentioned, got handmade jewelry that's brought in from Kenya. These earrings are all made out of bone. They are between $10 and $15 each, so very reasonable, but there are some awesome patterns there. And I'll be giving away a pair of these with the Ujamaa trivia. So if a lady wins and is interested in getting a pair of earrings, we have those for you. Or if a gentleman wins and wants to get one for the lady in his life, we have those for you. Moving on from there, we do have lots of other products in the shop. So for men, we've got button-up tops with the kente cloth on the pocket and right down the front of the button-up and on the sleeves as well. This top is $40. Men, you can coordinate with your ladies. We've got the head wrap with matching mask, same kente pattern. I have a lot of coordinating pieces like that where you can actually, go twinning when you go out on your date with your man. We've also got accessories and items for children. Got girls' hair bows. These are $5 each. Got lots of those in different kente patterns. And also traditional print dashikis and other items made out of that traditional print cloth. The last thing that I want to show you are my Empress head wraps. I have locks, as a lot of us do, and it can be difficult to find enough material to totally cover our hair. I heard when Jasmine Campbell, Elder Campbell's daughter, was talking about how it can be difficult to get a piece of fabric that is long enough. So the Empress wrap is a whopping 9 feet long, so that's 3 yards, right? And it's 1.5 feet wide. So this is going to give complete coverage to any queen, whether your hair is shorter or if it's very long like mine. Mine goes down to my waist. So I'm just going to very quickly show you. My daughter has box braids right now, and her box braids go down to her waist. Come on over, hon. So I'm just going to show you how very quickly we can get her wrapped up with the Empress wrap, and we're going to cover all of her hair. Got to be in the show. I apologize. My dog is wanting to get on camera here. So you can wear it many different styles. I prefer the Badu wrap, as do my daughters. So you can see right away that this is going all the way over the top of her braids. We don't have to do too much work at all to find the coverage that we need with this wrap. You've got enough material to cover almost any amount of hair. Sorry, I know she's trying to jump up on you. Our dog is not cooperating. Sorry, folks. So that's a very quickly done Empress wrap, but I think you get the gist here that we've got full coverage with this wrap. I've got it in many different colors. I make custom-made accessories to go along with it as well. Bangles, earrings, face masks, whatever it is you need. So again, Miss Niece with Rockin' Knits. You can contact me at 585-775-6133. I also have a website, www.rockinknits.com. That's ROCKNITS.com. And then you can also find me on Facebook, Anissa M. Willis. Thank you for the opportunity to show you some of the things that I have to offer to our community, and I'd love to hear from you. Up next, Craig is going to introduce our panel that are going to have some deep discussion about how we can move forward with Ujamaa.
Brother AJ, are you ready to present the panels?
Absolutely.
All right, nice. Real quick intro for AJ. AJ is the man. As far as I'm concerned, he's one of the foremost scholars and thinkers in our community, and the brother is a teacher by profession, and the brother is bad. So it was only right that I incorporate him into today's presentation. And also, me and AJ have worked together in the community through work with the activist group. Both of us had a big hand in founding, along with others, Community Justice Initiative. There's certain people out there like, yeah, big us up, Craig, big us up. Community Justice Initiative. We feed the people, do a handful of other. Yeah, that whatever that person said. But anyway, this is about AJ. So AJ, perfect person for the panel, great intellectual, and the brother has a great show on Mondays and Wednesdays called The Real HD on 100.9 FM. That's right, WXIR 100.9 FM. AJ James, put the people on to the panel, brother.
Peace and blessings to the family and to the community. All those that come in the name of our ancestors developing our children and in honor of developing with each other. Abargani, Ujamaa. How's everybody doing?
We're good. We're good.
Very good. Very good. So I'm going to start by giving you guys a traditional greeting, anataka, kawende, haraka, kawende peke auko. Kama anataka, kawenda, mabili, kawende, pajama, which basically means if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So I greet everybody in that ashe, absolutely. And like on my show, the Real HD show that comes on Monday and Wednesday nights at 8 to 10 p.m., we have real talk, real community-based talk that spans across the nation. And I hope our group here in the Rock can indulge ourselves in some real community talk in the spirit of Ujamaa, which is cooperative economics. Our panel will consist of Brother King Matt Bain, Sister Queen Annette Campbell, and Sister Queen Ashley Sneed. Are you brothers and sisters ready to indulge in a thoughtful dialogue?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. So like on my show, the Real HD show, we do something that we call red pill and blue pill because we don't want conversations with pretenders at all. We want real conversation with real people to get real results so we can move on and be progressive in the rest of the 21st century. So we're gonna do something called the red pill, blue pill moment. And I'll read you a little quick snippet of it. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, and the story ends. You wake up in your bed, and you believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, and you begin to seek knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And I'll show you just how deep this rabbit hole goes. Remember, I'm just offering you the truth, nothing more. Are we ready? Yeah, that's what we do. Usually on my show, I put a sound effect or rev my engines or something. But okay, so and everybody else that's listening in our sound of our voice, please leave whatever comments and concerns and questions you have in terms of our conversation in the chat, and we will definitely try to get to you and read those things aloud so our distinguished panel can address your concerns. So we're in a cleansing season, as my grandmother would like to call it, on the planet. And we are in thralls of a pandemic, by which means melanated folks are deeply disproportionately affected due to savage health inequalities that plague us. With threats looming from obvious medical crisis, millions of mass evictions looming ahead of us, joblessness, prevailing food deserts, and education crises. We need Ujamaa more than ever. But we know the problems. So now let's build to seek some Afrofuturistic based solutions. So what are some Afrofuturistic based initiatives or innovations that we can implement to give cooperative economics a permanence for us going into the later part of the 21st century? And as usual, ladies first. So I will give Sister Queen Annette the floor. And once again, the question is, what are some Afrofuturistic, innovative solutions we can implement that will give cooperative economics a permanence for us into the 21st century?
I think I kind of like touched on it already, but I mean, especially with me launching my, I'm
Once
opening up the
again,
doors to my
the
tax
question is,
business.
what are some
My grand opening is January
Afrofuturistic,
2nd. So everybody book your
innovative
tax
solutions
appointments. Is that
we can
we
implement
have to
that will give
definitely
cooperative
financially,
economics a
that
permanence
is the
for
big
us?
crippling piece. And that's the reason why a lot of people are suffering financially right now in this crisis, because we didn't have good solid foundations. And I think that to think forward, as you just asked, and what can we do, that has to be the first thing that we fix before we can even think about building further. We have to make sure that our personal finances are in order to be able, because if not, those personal struggles trickle into our businesses. So definitely, like I said, like our president just signed a $900 billion economic stimulus relief. And within that bill, that's $300 billion of funding that we can be receiving to help, kind of solidify our financial status. So that has to be fixed first financially. I think that's a big part of the problem. Other things need to be fixed as well, but coming to someone like me who we for example, for tax season, we have given our H&R blocks, our turbo taxes, we have made them billionaires every single year faithfully. And they don't do anything for our communities. They're not educating us. They're not teaching us how to build wealth. They're not doing anything for this. So it just doesn't make sense how, some of Ashley touched on that. We like to challenge our own prices. Like, we've given them money with no problems, no questions asked. So, treat your Black owned businesses with that same type of respect, and, be willing to pour that into them, especially someone like me who's willing, the money that I receive, and I'm curating things to help us move forward as a community. So I think that financial piece, it has to be done for us to be able to build the way that we should be able to build.
Absolutely. I believe that, a mastery, just from an individual standpoint, just get educated on tax codes. I think that's super important. And our sister, Queen Ashley, I would throw the same question to you. What Afro...
Hey, so I would think...
No, go ahead. I was just going to repeat the question if you needed it.
Oh, go ahead.
What Afrofuturistic innovative
Go ahead.
can we implement that will give cooperative economics more permanence in our community?
So I'm thinking past what now with the pandemic, but honestly, we need to take back our schools. We have to open up our own schools, and I think that they all need to be kind of based like Edison Tech, right? Where there are shop classes and things like that, so that our children can learn different trades. Our children can learn different trades, and we can take that forward, right? With them, long as they have the skill and they're building up their skills and they're great at it, the money is gonna come. I think we are like Annette said, we need to learn about money, but we need to do that within these schools, or even if we did small homeschool communities where we had, a house on the street and all the kids go to home, and do that where we're teaching, because I mean, the biggest part of any of this is the learning aspect. I've heard the terms, if you don't want someone, I believe it's Black, to know something, you put it in a book. And I think that that's wrong, because I like to read. And when I don't sit and read, I listen to audiobooks. So even if we had something like that, you know what I mean? We need more tangible things. We need things that can push our children forward, even if it's like theaters and stuff like that, like the other schools have in Greece. We need to be able to build our future up, because our future is the children. So we have to build that up.
Shout out to Edison Tech because I actually graduated. Shout out to the School of Business and Finance and Entrepreneurship at Edison Tech. You guys, I went to school for business. Like that is, I'm so grateful for my high school education because I feel like that's a big major piece of why I am such a great business owner. And that kind of helped me go in the direction that I went to, you know, going to college for business and accounting and then actually starting a business. So yes, I'm so glad that you hit on that, Ashley, because that is important. When they took away those programs, like that's the city school, that's a whole nother story. The city school district, that's a whole nother thing. But we have to, that is so important. Like we need those things. We need to be teaching our children entrepreneurship, real estate, and how to invest. Like those things need to be in schools. We need to be teaching. Yes, we definitely do. And I'm a product of that. Like that was my first intro to business through high school, and look where I am right now. So if we are pushing that to our children to help them make sure that they have a head start as well, that's going to be crucial.
Absolutely. So what I'm hearing is a repurposing of education, if you will, so that it speaks to drafting people in more our people into more industry related fields instead of the more popular ones that exist. And Brother King Matt Bain, I will throw the question to you too. What Afrocentric innovation solutions can we implement that will give cooperative economics a permanence in our community?
Right. So I'll go against the grain a little bit by saying that I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're prepared to have that type of a focus, particularly because great success and mastery is found at the foundational level. You have to build on a solid foundation before you can reach higher levels to where you can wield greater solutions, greater systems, if you will, that carry us throughout generations. Shout out to Edison Tech. I'm a Edison Tech grad as well. I was in the
Let me do this for the Edison Tech people. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so we can certainly be innovative. There's a bunch of space that exists where we can be successful and innovative, but it all kind of starts at the foundational level, in the sense that I have to be able to, as an individual, I have to be able to feed my family, feed myself, and take care of the basic needs that I have on a daily basis before I can begin to think bigger. And that's kind of where we're at, where we have to establish a strong foundation built on trust, on talent and skill sets, based on mastery at that very foundational level before we can start to build something even greater. And we can certainly move at exponential speed if we all bind together and develop that mastery at some level.
So are you saying self mastery first, right? And then moving towards the collective. And I agree with that, which is why I said, we need to take our schools back. I don't think that our children need to go back to the schools that they have given us or that we've had before. But I mean, and I love Edison for cosmetology. I still hated all of the other classes. You get what I'm saying? I wanted to go for what I wanted to go for, which is the reason I even picked that school. I went for hair. However, I do love the fact of exploratory, and we were able to go to each, shop class. And I was very interested in being a mechanic. After I got there, I was like, wow, I actually like working on cars. This is fun. And it's something that I would have never done. And so one of the things that I always, I keep reminding people is that you are only what you are exposed to. So if we can expose children to more things, so if we can have different school buildings or get the whole mall and make it one big school and all the kids can go there, and we have everything, nursing, daycaring, lacrosse, whatever is out there. If we can get them exposed to all of that stuff, then it will make for us better for our self-mastery, because the reality is we're only picking out of what's given to us. And so we need more things out there. We need to put more things out there that these kids are more exposed to, whether it's field trips, whether it's churches coming together with schools and families putting the money together and we sending kids somewhere, and whatever it is, I totally agree with what you're saying with trust, because you can't just send your kids anywhere with anybody, right? Sometimes not even the teachers and stuff. There's cases with all of that, but if we can get people that we trust and get these buildings bought and turned into something, because we understand we're on the other side of it. And I always say, like, to me, when they do the school is the golden rule, I think it was a bunch of crap, honestly, because education is important, and we wouldn't have libraries if school was going to teach us everything.
Yeah. And if I can jump in for a sec, I think
I give that to people who give a great comment. So that was awesome, Ashley. Go ahead, brother. You got it. Floor is yours.
All right. I will say, Ashley, you're spot on, and also Annette with your sentiment. I think just looking at the panelists here, we serve as an example to some degree, being Edison Tech grads. You have leaders in our respective spaces, and it's telling that the benefit of a focused schooling and education in that kind of way. I do feel strongly in terms of how the city school district is structured, but I won't turn this into that type of a discussion. But there is certainly opportunity to fix things in all spaces. And when you mentioned the centralized building, a one location for all schools conceptually, I think that's a great idea. It would be wrought with its own challenges, but it's a starting point in the discussion. But with what I understand with the city school district and the budgeting and the buildings and so on and so forth, it's structured whereas some buildings get proper resource, or not even proper resources, they get some resources, and then it kind of takes away from others, and it kind of shifts. By the time you get to the point of updating a particular school building, the last one on the list, the first one that you started with is now dilapidated. It's been essentially untouched for decades. So it's a problem that's going to continue perpetually, to the extent that unless we change something now, it's wash, rinse, repeat. We're going to be in the same boat, no matter what decision gets made. And so with that being said, hypothetically, if we had a number of leaders and with a focused infusion of capital resources, let's just make it up. Let's just say $1 billion. We got $1 billion at the table. We can truly restructure things the way that we would need to, but that's unrealistic considering that the resource that we collectively have here. So that just goes back to the point that I was trying to make earlier. I think Annette was trying to make earlier as well, that we truly have to get to that foundational aspect. We can't do something so vastly different without proper resourcing, and relying on the government for that type of funding and resource is not going to cut it. We have to do the work ourselves, and we can't do the work ourselves unless we are individually stable and financially stable and prepared for that type of a next leap.
All right. Thank you all. That was awesome responses to that question. And we, in the interest of time, we are moving on. According to the national economist, Duke professor, brother Sandy Darity, 10% of the black population hold all the wealth out of all black people. 8 million white homes versus 14 million black homes. 10% of white homes are worth $1.2 million, holding 80% of the national wealth, while 7 million black homes are worth and have a net worth $1,700 liquid. 12 million or more black homes are at the bottom of this are at the bottom 60% in terms of wealth. The Times, The Guardian, and the Vox says that by 2053, the net worth in black homes will be at zero. So my question is, what can the 19 families that purchased 97 acres in Atlanta, Georgia, teach us about the power of Ujamaa and cooperative economics? And I will go
We're better together.
to Sister Ashley to start us off. Go ahead, sis. Floor is yours.
We are better together. That is what it's showing us. We're better together because I remember explaining to one of my friends about tithes and offering, right? And he was like, "You about to give $100 to the church?" And I said, "Well, check this out. That $100 is only 10% of my 1,000, right? But if somebody only made 100, their 10% is only $10. And if somebody made $10, their 10% is only $1. However, now we have $111 because we all three gave. So that three of us was able to pay whatever bill versus only my 100 and now we $11 short, or we're short of something. So nothing is too small and nothing is too great. We need it all. We need everybody's, and we need everybody to play their part, and we need everybody to do what they can, which I like what Brother Matt said, getting our individual homes together. However, I think that the way to do that is for us to go back to everybody living under the same roof and really getting the understanding of what that is. I don't know if y'all ever watched the Cosby Show, but I remember when Theo wanted to move out and he turned the whole upstairs into Theo's apartment, and he told him that he showed him the cost of everything. He gave him money and he's like, "This gonna cost this and this gonna cost that." And he showed him how, if you get out there in the real world, this is what it's going to be. And I think that if we can get back to that, what I see a lot of times is there are a lot of young parents. I'm 36 with an 18-year-old. He be ready to go, and sometimes I'm ready for him to go. You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot of that where it's like, oh, as soon as they turn 18, they gotta go. And really, they have no idea what the real world is out there at 18. I was blessed to stay with my parents for a lot longer past 18. I had him when I was 17, So I was blessed that they are still alive and that I was able to choose between getting an apartment or getting my salon and not having to do both, and fell at them both. So that was awesome. So I think that if we can get back into the I guess you would call it cooperative living, where all of us are kind of coming together and we have a 6-bedroom home or 10-bedroom home, and all of us can come and pay a little something and save a little something, then I think when we do get out on our own, we'll have an idea how this system works. One thing that I listen to podcasts a lot, and the biggest thing that has been coming up is systems. We need to create systems, right? We need them. Whatever they look like, whether it's systems for school, whether it's systems at the house, whether it's whatever that is. I am a very free spirit, and I don't always like control, and I don't always like to follow rules. However, I do understand systems. There are certain ways where I would just give you an example for RG&E sometimes, right? In the summertime, when my heat is off and I'm not really home and I don't need to pay as much, I still pay $100 a week. That way in the wintertime, I can turn it up to 99 and not worry about being cut off because I did it ahead of time. That's a system for me that works for me. But if everybody can come up with some type of system that's going to work for them in their home, because I always say a godly life is a balanced life. So what we're really trying to find is our own balance and what's going to keep our house flowing and what's going to keep us going day to day. So if we can do that, if we can get ourselves together individually in that way and find a system for me, and I pass that system on to my son and let my son know this is not concrete. This may change for you a little bit, but I want you to try it my way and then take out what you don't need and add what you do need for your system. But we got to give them. We ain't giving up nothing. We're not giving them anything. We're not passing anything to anybody. We just all trying to do it by ourselves. And we're not saying, hey, this is what I tried. This will work for me. You can try it. Give me some feedback. Let me know.
Absolutely. Systems for life, systems for love, and systems for prosperity and legacy are super important. Can't express that more. But we have a comment that we had from the last question, and Rashad said to everybody, and understanding what money is for, even teaching it in an after-school program as a start. So I just wanted to read that. Thank you for your comment, Rashad. That was excellent. Good job. And I will throw the question of the moment to Brother Matt Bain. Go ahead, brother. What say you?
So I'm just going to respond to that last comment. It would be great to have the after school education in terms of finance, but what if we took that a step further and put it within the school? And it's not to suggest that the school would teach finance because we want to be sure that we separate the agenda of formal education from the true purpose of developing our youth for success, right? So I won't dig into that too much more, but my overarching point is really that as much as we want to create systems, and I think that's a phenomenal word for our own purposes, it's going to be incredibly and increasingly important in the next even 5-10 years. I, again, given my background, I work in IT. My primary focus is IT. I see a lot more systems being developed, not only by, I won't even change the focus there, but within my own realm, I'm developing systems. And these systems are geared to keep people engaged and to take their attention. My purpose is I like to say is noble, but not everybody who builds systems have a noble intent. And so as technology increases, there's going to be a number of other businesses that build tools that will be nice and fun and easy to use on the surface. But the grand purpose of it is to steal away your attention. So I say all of that to say at a high level, these systems are being built. Some systems are being built to take away your time, little by little. It might be the little computer apps. It might be Facebook. It might be some other system, but that's kind of the ugly side of it that we don't collectively discuss. But we could and we should develop systems that make our lives easier. So
right.
Back in the day, I'll say for my mom and dad's generation, they used to write checks for paying bills and all of that. Long gone are those days. Today, we should be looking online to use systems that help us out. And as information increases, it's going to be that much more difficult to maintain, to keep up with. Everybody has an app. Every bank, I have a number of banking institutions. Every one of them have their own separate app, which means I have to have logins that are separate for each one. I have to have everybody likes social media. You want to have social media that allows you to reach out to the community and beyond. That also requires a bit of attention and know-how. And then if you just continue to stack the types of systems that are being prepared for you, you're not going to have time for yourself. You're going to be on your phone. You're going to be on your computer. Kids are a second thought. And you're going to be doing the things that that number one, either entertain you or are part of your responsibilities, but you're not going to be present in the home anymore. You're not going to be present wherever you are. Doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox for a moment, but I will say just overall, you're absolutely right, Ashley. We've got to develop our own systems that gear us for success. It's tough at first, but the more familiar you get, the more you build onto it, and for yourself individually as well as intergenerationally, you teach your kids how to use these systems. The wealth of knowledge, the wealth of actual finances, the wealth of spirit, all of that grows exponentially, right? So I'll stop there. I get kind of wrapped up.
One thing I just want to respond to what you were saying. One thing for sure that I know is that what you were saying about the solid foundation and starting, with that foundation, we kind of have to go back to the beginning, right? So when I say create these systems, I'm talking about totally tearing up what we know and totally recreating, you know what I'm saying? Unlearning to relearn our children, ourselves, when I went to get a job, getting out of high school, I was very mad kind of because, they made me think that taking all these honor classes and all of this stuff was going to get me this big time job. And I was going to do all this great stuff. And when I went to fill out the application, that little box that you got to check said high school diploma / GED. So for me, it was so what did I stay after school for all of this time to do all of these great things, to graduate with all these honors? For what? For what? Because if it's equivalent to a GED, I could have just went and took a test and been a hairstylist and been open my business and been. So when it comes to my son, when he's okay, he don't really do good here, or he doesn't really want to be there, or he doesn't really want to go to, I'm like, listen, it's all the same to me. Go take the test and let's go. You want to be a DJ? I'd rather put my money into that than to college, than to push on your entrepreneur side. So when I say these systems, it's I was told school's the golden rule, and I went to college and all of that stuff, and I'm still just a hairstylist, which is exactly what I graduated from Edison for. So for me, it's I could have went to Edison right to hairstyling and opening my salon had I had a mentor versus people that are saying, go to college, go to school. That's what you need, because all the jobs that I went to wasn't paying me what I make now as a business owner and as a hairstylist.
Got you. Sister Annette, in the interest of time, you have the floor.
I definitely agree with both Matt and Ashley. I think that definitely we have to unlearn what we have been taught and to be willing to do the work, right? A lot of us, make excuses and, for it's just we only have one life. That's it. And, I feel like, God didn't put us here to just work and pay bills until we die. So we have to just find our purposes and understand what it actually takes to build wealth, right? Yes, we all were taught that way, go to school and then go to college, right? Because nobody else in our families were, at least I can speak for myself. My mom didn't know. My grandma didn't. They were never exposed to entrepreneurship on those different types of things. So it's up to us now that we have the resources, the knowledge, that we know better, that we have to give it all we got to change the trajectory of generations, breaking those generational curses, willing to put in the work, stop making excuses, stop complaining, stop being distracted. Just like what Matt says, these social media ads are supposed to help you progress your business, not to be on here, not to be on these apps getting distracted with life, right? And I feel like 2020 has showed us that, like, all these distractions, right, that came up, you know, even the coronavirus and all these different types of things, distractions, right, to get us unfocused on different things that doesn't really mean much, right? So many people had the time and the opportunity to learn new skills during this pandemic when they weren't working, to put the work, to invest into their businesses, and they chose not to. So now it's just like, okay, so now what do you do? Do you really do you really care enough about your family future to willing to put in the work to do what you need to do? So like foundational, definitely what Matt says, we don't even, it's like we can't even have those we can have, you know, amongst certain people you can have those conversations with, but we have to ground level first before we can think about getting to the next level. Like I had to do the same thing. Financial stability has to be number one, making sure that your basic necessities are taken care of to even be able to push out, you know, these big businesses, and actually willing to actually do the work to actually build powerful businesses, right? Nothing against any types of businesses, but like we need need-based businesses. You know, we need to have tax preparation businesses. We need to have tech. We need to have all these different types of things so that we don't really have to, you know, go to our outside, because they said for every dollar that we have, 4 cents stays in our communities. That's a problem. Like we have to change that. we have to change that, because that is crazy, and that's why the wealth gap exists. We have to, you know, just, you know, take those big risks, put the big work in, not try to take the easy way out when it comes to business building, and just making sure our foundational levels are solid to be able to continue to build out the way that we need to. So
Absolutely.
If I can just say one more thing.
Salute.
I know we've got a time limit, but one more thing that I want to add is that
real quick, brother, real quick.
Here we go.
We have some comments in our chat. Dr. Khadijah Tillman says, I would like to see finance and money management in our schools for our young scholar geniuses. Big up to my brilliant daughter, Nala. Hey, that's her comment. Shout out Dr. Khadijah and your brilliant, beautiful family. Dr. Khadijah's daughter, Nala, has a business with my daughter called the Sweet Shop, or the Sweet Spot, excuse me, where they make delicious pies, cookies, cakes, desserts, and they sell them during the festival season throughout Rochester. So big up, and an excellent comment. And another one is Mitchell Peace Joy. Jen says, some professors have a college degree, lawyer, or a doctor. Okay. So I'm not sure what that really means. Sis, brother.
Maybe it's meaning some professions.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So thank you all.
Yeah, we're not
Comments. Go ahead, Ashley.
we're not negating that. I'm not saying do away with all college and do away with all, but what I am saying is, if we can unlearn and relearn this and rebuild our system, guess what? For me, I always think that all school, elementary, middle, and high, should be built like college. What do you want to do? What is something that you want to try? What is something that you want to whatever? And then we take them through these systems, right? Because we had exploratory at Edison. You had to do 6 weeks in cosmetology, whether you liked it or not. You had to do 6 weeks in aviation. I hated it. It was boring, but I had to do it, because you don't know what you don't know until you're exposed to it. So you don't even know if you like it or not like it unless you're exposed to it. So my thing is, for me, if my high school was set up like college, or if my, you know, my home life was set up like college, then they would have understood, hey, I don't need parallelograms for hair. I don't. Okay. I need to know taxes. I need to know money management. I need to know my hairstyling stuff. I need to know equipment. I need to know chemistry, which I failed. So this is why I say some of the school stuff don't matter, because I got to 14 in chemistry on paper, but I am a beast when it comes to color and relaxer and all of the chemicals that I have to mix up in my salon. So the thing is, what we have to do is make sure our kids understand, hey, when you're in a blue box, right, but you're a red box learner, you're going to always look crazy. So what I'm saying is, let's tear up these systems and say, what type of learner are you, kid? You're blue. Let's put you over here in the blue box where you're going to absolutely excel. Because I became a hairstylist. That's what I've been doing since I was younger. So when my mom is saying, get a job, get a job, get a job, it should have been get a mentor if this is what you really want to do. But because the system that she was in was get a job, that's what she gave to me. And so there was a struggle there with the fight. And so I'm not saying get rid of college. I'm not saying that we don't need it. For certain professions, you're absolutely right. But for me, I didn't need it. I just didn't.
Let me do a station check. Sister Anissa and Brother Diallo, how we doing on time?
We've run over the amount of time, but the discussion was so good. I definitely didn't want to interrupt or anything. What do you think, Craig? Should we wrap it up so that we have time for Ujamaa trivia?
Yeah, I mean, we have time for a little bit of both. We have a good amount of viewers on Facebook. We've been steady. We appreciate everybody out there. We love you all. And so we want to keep showing that love by way of our presentation. So I'd say about another, maybe a quick question round, and then we'll get into Ujamaa Jeopardy. So 5 minutes, no more than maybe 7, something to that effect.
Here we go. All right, so we're back, and let's get into the last question that I have for in the spirit of cooperative economics. And it says, being that we're in the energy of this gift-giving season, operating in the spirit of Ujamaa cooperative economics, what are some zawadi, which means gifts, or financial jewels? Now, we got to give them up smooth, what you know, because you just said it, Ashley. You said we need to teach the babies real things about how they can earn real money and progress in real things in life. So let's give them some financial jewels. Let's give the community some real financial jewels that they can take away, some financial zawadi that they can take away from this dialogue. And we'll start with Sister Annette. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
So give some jewels. Okay, so definitely make sure your financial foundation is in order. I'm willing to give away. I don't know when I was supposed to do this, but I want to give away 2 things. One, I'm going to give away an ebook for business owners. So it's an ebook that is the 21 deductions that all business owners should know. And then I'm going to give another ebook away. It is like a personal finance ebook that kind of helps people with the foundations that they should be building and different tips. So that is like my gifts that, I think it's always good to give away educational gifts, gifts of value that's going to actually help change, people's lives. So that is, I know we're probably supposed to be talking about it, but I just wanted to give away my gifts since we were talking about it.
Hey, she gave away something. She gave of herself some financial instruments to help our folks out there in the Black community to be better, be more progressive. Brother Matt, what jewels do you have to give away? What zawadi, what gifts do you have to give away in the spirit of cooperative economics?
Okay, so I'll start by saying that I love the being a panelist here. I like having the opportunity to talk through some of these challenges, some of these circumstances, and I think we don't do it often enough. So I'll say that I offer my availability for further discussion because we collectively need more discussion around these type of topics. But to offer one particular jewel that stands out to me, the first thing that pops into mind was Dame Dash. He did an interview on Hot 97. He talked about how he gained his success, how he climbed. One of the things that he pointed out, one of the interesting points that stuck with me that I pointed out was that even when he had it, right? He had money from whatever endeavor he was doing. Even when he had money, he didn't really have it, right? So anything that he made from the business, he reinvested into his business to the extent that he never had bread on him, right? So, for example, what I took away was that even though you may be able to, on paper, afford that nice new Benz, or you might be able to, you've gotten a little bit of success here or there. You may be able to buy that new this or new that. It's cool, but you may want to stay focused. Keep your focus on your end. Look for other people that have done it and that are doing what you're trying to accomplish. And so when the time comes, when the opportunity does come, where you can go ahead and get that nice Benz or the big house or the whatever, the flashy purse or whatever it is, you know that the what you've earned at this stage is not for that, right? You can, if once you learn how to flip the money that you made, reinvest the money that you made, and grow it, the spending on things like cars and shoes and all of that stuff becomes secondary. It becomes minuscule relative to where you're trying to head. So if you can truly identify what your goal is, make your goal so astronomical that you feel in your spirit that you question, is this, am I really being serious about this? Can I actually make this? That's when you know you're pushing hard enough, but you should have a clear path to that success, and just keep hustling. Hustle hard, keep flipping it. Know that whenever you decide to slow down, or whenever you decide, because everybody does at some point, when it is your time to slow down, you know that you can coast. And the saying is to shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you land among the stars, something to that effect. That's what this is, to where even if you fail to reach your goal, you've far exceeded everybody else. Not that you're comparing yourself to anybody else, but you far exceeded the ambition that everybody else around you was aiming for. Everything that you would have otherwise originally aimed for, you far exceeded that. And you look back on yourself and you see how impactful you can then be, not only for the people immediately around you, but the people that are next to the people next to you, right? So when I build systems, I don't have to build anything. I'm operating under these rules, this perspective in my own space. I'm going to be, my expectation is that I'm going to be successful, irrespective of the success of Bob Rochester or anything else that I'm touching. I do that for the community. I do that for the people that are next to me, our local community, our national community, our global community. I expect
Absolutely, brother.
we have to continue to push even beyond that.
Absolutely, brother. Ashley, in the interest of time, last word. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, know your worth. Know your worth when you're out here. If you're moving into business, entrepreneurship, even if you're going to get a job, know your worth. So you don't have to stay stuck at the $10, $12 job. You can kind of boost your resume, shop around, find another job that's going to help you towards your goal. As everybody else said, have a goal, because sometimes you if you have no idea where you're headed and which direction you're going in, you're just kind of going and you just find yourself wherever. If you have that goal, if your goal is, I want a school, okay, how much is it going to cost to have this school? How much is it going to cost to have these buses? How much is it going, figure that stuff out, and then let that be your goal. So now if you are going into entrepreneurship, Know your worth. Know the time that it has taken you. As I said, I've been doing hair since I was a little kid. And even when I went to school, I got my license. There were certain things that I didn't know. The moment I got my license, I should have went up a little more. Every year, you know, they say give yourself a raise and all these different things I didn't know. So where I was a very rich kid, I'm not a not so, you know, wealthy adult, which I should have been had I had some direction and had some some information. And what I will say is to read, and read some more. Don't information overload, but read and get an understanding of some things, because in all that getting, we need an understanding. So make sure you get an understanding in the field that you're going in. Make sure you get an understanding an amount of money, the highest cap that somebody has made in that system. Do those things with the other part, with what everyone else has said. Set your goal, know your worth, charge your worth, invest, save, do all the things that you want to do. And I would say pay yourself. Make sure you do that. Do not forget to pay yourself, because we work hard and we work hard and we give all our money away to bills and whatever the case may be, and we never look out for ourselves, except for when it's like, oh, you know what, I'm just being impulsive and buy this car that I can't afford it. You don't want to do it like that. You want to kind of have those systems in place. Try different systems, do those things, and I think you'll be in the best financial shape ever.
Absolutely. Thank everyone on the panel here today. In the spirit of cooperative economics, Ujamaa, for all their great contributions. I think it was a great dialogue. I think that we're existing in a great system right now, which is the Nguzo Saba, which incorporates unity of economics and spirituality to last us throughout the year in the coming years to follow. So as long as everybody does that, we will be back here next year talking about all the great progressions we did in the name of the Nguzo Saba and Kwanzaa and cooperative economics and each other. So for the Kwanzaa Coalition, this is AJ James, the Vic, saying it was an honor for me to be here and an honor to have this discussion with you guys. Don't forget to check out the Real HD in January, Mondays and Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock. And we are out. Peace. Love you guys. Abaragani. Ujamaa.
Ujamaa, thank you so much. That was awesome, panelists. Thank you all for your thoughts and words of wisdom and zawadi in sharing your knowledge about just finances and entrepreneurship and really knowing your own value and worth. That's what stayed with me the most. So it is now time for us to have our Ujamaa trivia game. And I invite those people that are watching us live to play along. So if you're interested in playing the Ujamaa trivia game, let me know on the page and we can invite you right into the Zoom and you can play. Sister Annette Campbell is giving away 2 dope ebooks to help you get your personal finances in order. And I'm giving away some handmade Kenyan bone earrings as well. So I'm just looking to the Facebook page here to see if we have any takers. If not, panelists, you're not done. You have to play. Thank you for bearing with us. Again, I'm just looking to see if there's anybody celebrating with us virtually that is interested in coming into play with us. All right, so no takers yet. Maybe somebody will jump in and want to play. But let me see if my panelists are able to stay on to play with us. We can play maybe 10 minutes or so. First person to get to 5 points wins. 1 point per question. That's what we're dealing with right now. Okay, so I have Mitchell Peace Joy Jen interested in playing. Thank you. So glad that you are interested. I'm going to inbox you to invite you into the Zoom because there is a little bit of a delay between the actual Zoom and the live feed that you see. So we want to make sure that you are able to participate fully and not have that delay or any interruption. So I'm going to send you a messenger chat or message so that you can join us. Any other takers? Don't be shy. Okay. Craig, I'm not sure if you're with us. Can you just see what's going on the Rochester Kwanzaa Coalition page while I'm just sending this message to our sister who is going to join us? I don't want to miss anybody if someone else is interested. Okay. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Just waiting to see if we can get our sister to join us. And again, double checking to see if there are any other takers, anyone else that is willing to join us on Zoom and play Ujamaa trivia. Okay, so I'm seeing now the comments. I just got back to the back to the Facebook page. I apologize. I have 2 laptops and not 2 screens, which would be easier. So they're totally doing different things. Yes, Peace Joy Jen, you can play in the comment feed. You just have to understand that there's going to be a delay between when I actually ask a question and in getting your response. And I also see that Khadija Tillman is willing to play in the comments as well. Welcome, Khadija. So we have Khadija, we have Peace Joy Jen playing. Brother Matt Bain, are you playing?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome, thank you. Sister Annette Campbell, are you playing?
Good thing.
All right, sounds good. So Matt and Annette, because we are in the Zoom and some of our players are watching the live feed, we just have to be a little patient, understanding that they have a delay in hearing the questions and in also giving their answers. All right, so let's get this game started. So this is Ujamaa Trivia for Kwanzaa 2020, Embracing the Nguzo Saba. And here is our warm-up question. This is easy. We should have this for sure. What does the principle Ujamaa mean? A, unity. B, collective work and responsibility. C, cooperative economics. D, creativity. So everyone can kind of think of the answer to this one to yourself because it is a warm up. There are no points that are going to be offered to this, of course.
It means A. I got this. Give me the point. It's A.
Well, clearly you're confused I can tell by your name, Magic, LeBron, Jordan, and your answer. You are definitely confused. It is not A, unity.
Me and Anisha did not discuss this just in case anyone was wondering.
And I'm just trying to get back to the Kwanzaa page so that I can see those answers too.
Second into the chat.
You can say it out loud, Matt. Yeah, because it's just one more thing for me to manage if you're actually writing it in the chat that I have to read the chat too. So you can just say it out loud. Craig, I do need your help with what our responses are online because I'm sharing the document and then I'm on Zoom on the other computer. I can't do all three. Yep. Sorry.
We got a C for Erica Darasaw. She picked C. We have a C for Khadijah Tillman. And for Steny Amaro, it may be trying to adjust her sound, but we have 2 answers for C. Even though they're misled and it's really A, we have 2 answers for C.
Just gonna stick with A, okay. And the answer, of course, is cooperative economics, to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit from them together. I don't know if you knew this, but the symbol for cooperative economics are 2 interlocking half circles known as the Sabidi, the symbol of togetherness and family. All right, so let the games begin. Good luck. Again, we are giving away 2 phenomenal ebooks by Sister Annette Campbell and a pair of Kenyan bone earrings to those people who get the most answers correct. I think we will try to answer 5 to 7 questions, 7 being our divine number, before we go to our closing ceremony. So here's our first question. Who is the founder of Kwanzaa? A, Maya Angelou. B, Dr. Umar Johnson. C, Teddy Pendergrass. Or D, Dr. Maulana Karenga.
You know when you're ready for the answer.
We'll give a 10-second lag time, and then you can answer those people who are in the Zoom. And I'm just going to get a piece of paper so I can keep track of points. Okay, what say you, Brother Matt and Sister Annette?
Dr. Karenga. D.
C, Dr. Karenga. What do you think, Annette?
It was D as in dog.
Sorry, D is in dog. Sorry, Annette, I didn't hear you.
Yes, D.
All right. And what say you, Magic LeBron Jordan? What are our answers in the chat?
The answers, hold on. Can I be heard? Okay, I can be heard. All right, the answer in the chat is Faustinia says D. Mitchell Peace Joy Jen says D. Erica Darasol says D. And Khadijah Tillman says D.
And the answer is D. Dr. Maulana Karenga. 1 point for everybody. Awesome. I'm glad that none of you picked Teddy Pendergrass, although he did have that really dope Kwanzaa song. And he told us to do more than just turn out the lights. Light a candle. He said light 7 of them, starting in the middle for the people. And then we alternate red and green each day for each of the 7 principles. And as you can see, it's just buffering. I was trying to give y'all a little bit of that Teddy love, but what can we do? We're gonna move on in the interest of time.
But I do have some Jeopardy music ready though. It's gonna sound janky, but it's gonna be lit though. Watch.
All right, number 2. In what year was Kwanzaa founded? A, 1895, B, 1922, C, 1974, or D, 1966?
No, when you're ready.
Yes, sir. We're again just going to try to give that 1 minute of wait time.
You got to give the delay music.
Cue it up.
I got it queued up. Hold on. Like I said, it might be a little suspect, but you're here. Oh.
Oh, you got another version of the Jeopardy.
Right, it's a little remix in there.
What? Y'all weren't ready. Y'all weren't ready. Okay, that's enough of
that. All right, Annette, I'm going to let you answer first, Annette. Go ahead.
I mean, I be seeing Matt's, he be quick to put his in the comments, and I'm sure he right. So I'm going to go with D. At first, I was thinking C at first, but.
See, Matt, stop putting your answer in the comments, man.
I know he be so quick. I'm like, okay.
You seem to know what he's talking about. So Annette and Matt both answered D. Craig, can you give us the answers from Facebook?
Sure can. The answers from Facebook are Khadijah Tillman says D, Erica Darasol says D, Faustina Mario says D, Faustinia says Buffalo is winning so far. That's what she says. Faustinia is one of the sisters that is very supportive, very dope, and she's from Buffalo. She's repping that Buffalo team. And Mitchell Peace Joy Jen says D is her answer.
And the answer is D, 1966. Shout out to Buffalo. Thank you for joining us, Faustinia. Really appreciate it. And for all of you watching us live, if you did not know, Buffalo is going live every evening from 7 to 9 with their virtual Kwanzaa celebration as well. And if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Maulana Karenga will be with them tonight. So definitely when you get off of the live with us here, you want to go check out the Buffalo Kwanzaa page because they're going to have the founder himself. I mean, what better can you do? All right, number 3. Which African politician used Ujamaa as a political platform? A, Julius Nyerere, B, Nelson Mandela, C, Kwame Nkrumah, D, Steve Biko, E, all of the above.
Give our footy. Music time.
Music, please. Hey. All right. Annette, I'm going to go to you again. Matt put it in the chat.
No, see, I
Bree gave her
had
a
Nelson
chance.
Mandela. I did have Nelson Mandela. I did know that one.
All right. And Matt, you can go ahead and say yours aloud for the people. What you got?
Let's see. I'm not totally sure, but I'd say C.
C or B?
C is in cat.
C is in cat. All
Oh,
right.
you tried to trick me. But I thought it was Nelson Mandela, so I could be wrong. See, that sounds like the name of like somebody that I actually know, though. That's why I was like, wait, huh? Did they do this on? Like they trying to trick me? But okay, Matt, I see what you did. It's okay.
Right. Oh,
So
goodness.
I'm not totally sure, but I know it's not Nelson.
Oh, well, I don't know. That just sounded right.
Gotcha.
Craig, what do we have on Facebook? What are the answers on Facebook before I reveal the answer?
Yes, Faustinia says E, and then she says all of the above, which are actually the same thing. Khadijah says E, which is also all of the above. And
Do we have a response from Sister Mitchell? Is that no, Craig? She did not respond? And we lost Craig. Okay. Well, hopefully he'll be right back in. I'm going to try to bring up my Facebook also so that I can see those answers of the people who are playing live. I don't want them to be left out. Okay, so I got my Facebook up on my phone. Thank you for your patience, everyone. I apologize. I just want to check for Sister Peace Joy's answer before I reveal the answers.
Can I change my answer?
Go ahead. I'll let you change your answer.
I think I'm going to change to A. I'm kind of 50-50 between the two, but I think A might be it.
Okay. Now, most game shows would not allow you to change your answer.
He just used a lifeline.
Right. You have no more of those left. Okay. My phone is not loading any comments past about an hour ago.
I don't know.
Lord have mercy.
E as an elephant.
I don't know who Steve is.
Oh, now we have Donald Biden. So I think Craig is back. I think that's one of his many aliases. And I'm sorry, did I hear your voice, Rashad? Were you giving me an answer for Peace Joy Jen?
Yes, I put it in the chat for you.
Oh, I apologize. I was so focused on my phone. Okay, so she answered E as well. And the answer.
all ease.
Is A. Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, who I mentioned this earlier when we were talking about the principle of Ujamaa. He was an anti-colonial activist and politician who served as president of Tanzania from 1964 to 1985. He endorsed the Pan-Africanist idea of unifying Africa as a single state in order to build wealth together. So Matt's changed answer to A was correct.
That was right, but I think it was not just him though.
I think that arguably that's true, that these other folks also promoted Ujamaa, right? But he actually used it as his political platform, and he's considered a political theorist that promoted Ujamaa, where the others aren't necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Give it up, Matt. Give it up, Matt. Give it up.
I got it right.
Right. He changed it. He changed his, I allowed him to change his answer, so he got it right.
Yeah. Sophisticated cheating.
All right. Number 4. How long did the Montgomery bus boycott last?
Uh-oh. Harder questions. Look at the white dude in the picture. He knows how hard that question is. Look at him.
Was it A, 380 days, B, 2 months, C, 165 days, D, 2 years? Wait music, please, Mr. Biden.
Yeah.
All right. Matt, you can go ahead and answer first this time. No changing your answer.
Initial thought was maybe C, but I'll settle on, I'll go with A.
A for Matt. Annette, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm just gonna guess and say I don't know.
I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah, I don't know that one. This is a good. I don't know. 165 days. I don't know.
I appreciate the fact that you guys' response in nature is not trying to Google anything. You guys are legitimately not cheating and going into Google. So it's good y'all kept it pure. I don't know if I can say the same about Faustinio, but hey, some dark corners in Buffalo.
Ooh. So Annette, you're gonna go with C?
Yes. It probably was longer than that, but I don't know.
No problem, sis. We will reveal the answer in just a moment. Craig, can I get the answers of our players on Facebook, please?
Yes, ma'am. So we have Faustinius says 380. I forget which letter that is. Oh, I see it there. A. Someone says this question is too hard. Someone, oh wait, I'm not. Oh, that must have been for a different question. Oh, Mitchell Peace Joy says C.
Okay, and does Ms. Tillman have an answer on the comments?
She was the one that said it was too hard, or she can just blame it on someone hacking her. Maybe it was one of the kids that broke that.
All right, and the answer is A. 380 days. The boycott took place from December 5th, 1955 to December 20th, 1956, and is regarded as the first large-scale U.S. demonstration against segregation. On March 2nd, 1955, Claudette Calvin was arrested for refusing to give up her seat on a segregated bus in Montgomery, Alabama, which was 9 months prior to Rosa Parks' famous arrest for the same offense. However, Parks became the face of the boycott because Calvin was a teenager and there was a scandal surrounding an alleged affair with a married man. So they didn't actually, make it mainstream or widely known that she was actually the reason that the boycott began. So there you go. All right, number 5. And I think we will take it to 7 because, again, that's our divine number. And it's just the order of things. And we talk so much about order and systems. Ooh. So we're going to keep in step with that. This sister opened Lalia College, the first Black beauty school in Pittsburgh, PA, in 1908. Who is she? A, Sarah Boone. B, Queen Anna Nzinga. C, Madam C.J. Walker. And that should say D, Harriet Tubman.
I used to know this.
We need our music.
Yeah, I'm about to switch it up real quick. Hold on. I got y'all. I'm going to go a different route with the music. Hold on. I got to get through the commercial on YouTube. Bear with me.
On my first LSAT, I scored a 1.8.
Oh! Boom! Here it goes. Okay, that's all for the music.
All right, Annette, you're up first this time. What do you say, love?
C, Madam C.J. Walker.
All right, and Matt, what about you?
I'll just point out that there's 2 C's.
There are. So you can clarify the same way that Annette did. C, Madam C.J. Walker, or C, Harriet Tubman.
I'll go with, I know Madam C.J. Walker was related to hair. She created stuff. So I'd say Madam C.J. Walker.
All right, you also choose C, Madam C.J. Walker, not C, Harriet Tubman. And Craig, what do our participants on Facebook have to say?
Question. Let me check. All right. Our people on Averin, do you have an answer? Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, you know what? Hold on. My screen has to refresh. I'm not seeing new responses. Hold on.
Okay.
I don't know that anyone has given any new responses. We might want to just move on. It looks like that's it. Oh, right. Oh no, I see it. Faustinia, my bad. You can hear me? Faustinia says C, and then she adds an extra answer to get extra credit. Her real name is Sarah Breedlove. 3 exclamation marks. Khadijah Tillman says, why didn't you get my answer right on the last one? I gave the right answer. And then she proceeds to say, C, Erica Darasaw's LOL, Diallo Payne. Mitchell Peace Joy says, Madame. And then Faustinia says, look again. Because I didn't see the answers again, which I did look again. Okay. Thanks for the advisory assertion. And then JV Wolf. JV Wolf comes in last second to hit the last second buzzer shot. C with a question mark.
Okay, I'm not sure who the last person is. You said JD?
JV Wolf. JV Wolf.
Okay, I just want to give them credit for playing along. All right, and the answer is, it says A, Madam C.J. Walker. Clearly, I was tired when I was making this. But those of you who said Madam C.J. Walker, you are correct. Faustinia, you're amazing. You knew her given name as well, which is Sarah Breedlove. Recognized by many as the first female millionaire, she made her fortune by developing and marketing a line of beauty products for Black women. She was an activist and philanthropist who used her class privilege, being wealthy, to support the NAACP Anti-Lynching Fund, Frederick Douglass's Anacostia House, and many, many others. All right, number 6. Who was the richest Black man in history? A, Sean Carter. B, King Tut. C, Mansa Musa. D, Donald Trump. Just making sure y'all paying attention.
Was that really one of the choices, the Donald Trump choice?
It really is one of the choices, Mr. Donald Biden.
Yes. Okay, so a little music, shall we?
The question won't show up on my screen. I don't know what happened.
I'll stop sharing your share again.
Okay.
It's okay. I'll reshare it. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay,
there we go. Boom, music time. Let's go.
Feel the joy as we sing of the love togetherness can surely bring.
There's a Teddy P.
Yep.
Set the table at a strong, thankful for the first fruits of the year. Say I light a candle just for you.
Got a lot I can do just for you. All right, girl. Yep, let's do it.
Oh. I gave that one away. Technical difficulties, and I gave it away.
Just as long as we're having fun, it's all good. So we have Andrea Brown says Mansa Musa. Erica Derisol says Sean Carter. Mitchell Peace Joy Jen says Donald Trump. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's out there. Faustinia says Donald Trump also. Andrea Brown says the same answer again for whatever reason. All right. JB Wolf says King Tut's.
Hey.
Matt and Annette, you want to tell us what your thoughts were before I gave it away?
My thoughts were correct.
Yeah, no question, Mansa Musa, relative for his time, certainly. And I think, wasn't he he was the richest person in general?
Richest person in history, yep. There's a reason I separated man and woman. There's more questions that follow that talk about the wealth of women and what have you. So there was a reason I separated it instead of just saying the most wealthy person. But those of you who answered C, Mansa Musa, you are correct. Mansa Musa ruled the Mali Empire from 1312 to 1337. His reign stretched across West Africa and included land that is now Guinea, Senegal, Mauritania, Gambia, and the modern state of Mali. Musa led Mali to become the largest producer of gold in the world, effectively collapsing the economies of Cairo and Mecca. He also led Malian sailors to exploit the Americas a full 200 years before Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. All right, and I see that my screen share has dropped off, so I'm just trying to correct that. I'm not sure why that happened. Bear with me. We have one final question.
Had the most money.
Someone's hijacking us again, y'all. Go ahead, Matt.
I'll say, given that Mansa Musa was the richest man in history, given that I'll say popular history doesn't really reflect that. It's just to point out the fact that money is not always the answer. It's not the final solution to everything. It's just it's a stepping stone. But I'll stop.
That's a dope point, bro. That's a dope point.
I agree. Money is a tool that helps you create more opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Still working on the share, folks. I apologize. I want you to be able to see the question, but it is not responding. Zoom is starting to act up, y'all. Let's see.
In the meantime, we're gonna try to cue up some Kwanzaa music.
Nguzo Saba.
Sing along, sing along, sing along. Know it. Kwanzaa karaoke. Yup, Emoja, Sudi Chakalia, and Ujima. Emoja, Sudi Chakalia, and Ujima. Ujamaa, Mia, Kumba, Imani. We got our own. Mm. 2020 sucked just before Kwanzaa. 2020 sucked just before Kwanzaa. Collective Kwanzaa karaoke. Collective Kwanzaa karaoke. Sing along, sing along. Yup. Matt Bang, sing along, Matt Bang. Specifically Matt Bang. Specifically Matt Bang. Sing along, brother, sing that thing. Matt Bang, get on the mic and sing. Oh, someone text me. Okay. Matt Bang, get on the mic and sing. And Matt Campbell, get on and sing. Collective Kwanzaa karaoke. Craig Carson, yo, you know me.
For the motherland, cradle of civilization. For the ancestors and their indomitable spirit. For the elders from whom we can learn much. For our youth who represent the promise for tomorrow. For our people, the original people. For our struggle and in remembrance of those who have struggled on our behalf. For Moshe, the principle of unity, which should guide us in all that we do. For the Creator, who provides all things, great and small.
All right, family, I apologize, but I cannot seem to get Zoom to allow me to release the share so that I can restart it. and I don't want to end the live feed or anything like that by trying to correct the issue. I can't get into my email on my other laptop so I can show it from the other screen because it seems to be allowing other people to share. It just won't allow me as the host to share, which is crazy. But that is what's happening. So the last question, you are going to just have to listen closely, and then we will announce the winner. So for number 7, the question is, according to current data, which group keeps money in its own community the longest? Is that A, the Black community, B, the Asian community, C, the white community, or D, the Jewish community? So this is for the win. I will repeat it because you cannot see it. According to current data, which group keeps money in its community the longest? Is it us, the Black community, B, the Asian community, C, the white community, or D, the Jewish community?
Okay. We'll just let the music go this time. We have answers for Facebook, which are Tasha D. What's up? What's up? She just said thank you. Faustinia says the Jewish community. Mitchell Peace Joy. Jen says D. Khadijah says D. And Andrea Brown says Jewish.
Okay, so Khadijah had B like boy. Mitchell Peace Joy had B like boy. Faustinia had D as in David. And I'm sorry, what was...
No, they all had D as in David.
All had D as in David.
All 3 of them had D as in David.
Got you. And then you said one other person. I apologize.
Even though Faustinia changed hers from B as in boy to D as in dog.
Calling people out, just wrong. Matt, what say you?
Okay, I'd say the white community. I don't remember the letters, but I'd say the white community.
White community is C. So I'm going to put you down for C. And Annette, last thought, hun.
I would say the white community.
Okay, so you also chose C, the white community. The answer was B, the Asian community.
Oh, I didn't think of, the Asian. Yeah, they do. They keep everything.
Right. What's crazy is that none of us thought it was us. We all knew that was incorrect. So research shows that a single dollar stays in the Asian community for almost an entire month, and it stays in the Jewish community for 19 days. This same research shows that $1 stays in our community for 6 hours, not even a whole day.
How long is the white community?
I'm sorry?
How long does it stay in the white community?
I don't have that data right on this screen, so I'm not sure. But it's going to be less than 19 days, and it's going to be more than 6 hours. Which, of course, is not funny. We certainly can do better. We have to support our businesses, keep our dollars in our community. You know someone that has what you need. You know a Black mechanic. You know someone that has laundry soap, someone that has, anything that you can possibly think of. So we have to find those people. We have to use your resource, Matt, and see that we have all these different businesses in our own community. And we have to network. We really have to get together, and we have to change that, because it makes absolutely no sense that we can't hold a dollar in our community for one day. Some of the other questions that were embedded into this game, but I'll just give you the information from the spending power of our community of Black people is said to be somewhere around $1.3 trillion. $1.3 trillion, which is the same spending power of the 15th wealthiest nation in the world, which happens to be Germany. Our spending power in the US, African Americans, $1.3 trillion. which is on par with Germany's spending power. We can do better. We must do better.
We will.
So with that being said, and looking at all of the answers, Matt takes the win with 5 correct answers out of 7. And then we have Faustenia as the runner-up with 4 questions out of 7. So there you are. We will get in contact with you to find, to make sure that we exchange the ebook and pair of Kenyan bone earrings for you, Faustenia. And Matt, we just appreciate you playing. No. Just joking. But seriously, thank you. It was very fun. I hope that you all had fun. I hope that you learned something as well. And we're ready to go ahead and close our celebration for today. We appreciate all of you that stayed on the extra time, that had patience with us through any technical difficulties that we may have had. Together, we are better. We are stronger. And please don't forget to check out the Buffalo Kwanzaa page, because they have some more really great treats in store.
Definitely a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks again. We appreciate you. Habari Gani. In the spirit of Kuumba creativity, the Rochester Kwanzaa Coalition invites you to visit our YouTube channel. There, you'll find 7 videos, one for each of the Nguzo Saba. These videos provide step-by-step instructions for how to make culturally themed items with the children in your family. Kwanzaa is a time when we should celebrate and encourage the creativity of children. The activities shared on our YouTube channel provide multiple opportunities for children to apply Kuumba while sharing quality time with family. The crafts made by children are perfect to decorate your home during the celebration and may be used as zawadi or handmade gifts for loved ones. Wishing you a joyous Kwanzaa. Heri za Kwanzaa.
And at the closing of our ceremony, we perform the Tamshi La Tutuana, which is the farewell statements. Strive for discipline, dedication, and achievement in all you do. Dare to struggle and sacrifice and gain the strength that comes from this. Build where you are, and dare leave a legacy that will last as long as the sun shines and the waters flow. Practice daily Umoja, Kujichagulia, Ujima, Ujamaa, Nia, Kumba, and Imani. And may the wisdom of the ancestors always walk with us. May the year's end meet us laughing and stronger. May our children honor us by following our example in love and struggle. And at the end of next year, may we sit together again in larger numbers with greater achievement and closer to liberation and a higher level of human life. We'll now perform 7 Harambes. Harambe, 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 Harambe.
Ashe.
Ashe.